You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Swarms of danger kitties.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosion sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, gross atomic waste. From deep within the core, gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 539th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, homies.
And Ray. What is up, homie Ray?
Hello.
Homie, don't play that. Tonight on the show, we are going to go over some feedback from the community over Honest Hearts. Ray, Jess, and I ran through that last week. The canyons and rivers and bridges and bears. Oh my. We'll get into feedback from Rando, from Calm Horizons and Nicky, from Vanessa, Will, John the Shoveler, and Mr. Suliore tonight. I got some iguana bits also. Maybe a game time if we have time to get into it. I know everyone was super excited about the super awesome, super successful, awesomely super game last week. So we're going to revisit the same game and do the same thing again, exactly again, the same thing.
Oh, perfect.
Again.
Yeah, that was my
awesome.
favorite.
All right,
so good.
And then people dealing with weather, maybe a couple shouts on the way out the door. So, all right, let's go ahead, roll right in, see what everybody's been up to this past week, and get into it. Ray, did you have a chance to play any video game this week, sir?
I did. I'm still on light gaming duty, but I had been collecting Corvette parts, and so I finally built a Corvette in No Man's Sky using the Aeron parts, which are the new ones that were introduced in the Breach Expedition.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. A lot of very sharp edges and, pointy parts. So it was made for a cool Corvette.
But real-life Corvettes are like the smoothest things ever. They aren't pointy at all, are they?
No, they're not.
And you said this was a battleship, right? The original Corvette is...
Yeah, Corvettes were a light gunship.
So this doesn't look like a car. It looks more like the gunship thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely heavy on the gunship. Lots of cannons and missile launchers and all kinds of good stuff, as I do in my Starfield builds.
Your ships
you're
sort of like pop culture ships that you build in, not Starfield, the other one, No Man's Sky. Can you like alter colors and stuff or change those at all, or they just come as they are?
You can change the colors.
Okay. And the design as well, or you're stuck with the design?
Now, the design is pretty locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the parts you use, right? Like, it can vary. You can create it, but it's based on available parts. It's like in Starfield, you can do a lot. You can get pretty creative, but until there were mods, like there was only, a couple hundred pieces you could choose from.
Yeah. But still, people were so creative within that, the limitations that they create, like the Oscar Wiener hot dog ship and stuff. You're like, oh, that's awesome. Good.
No.
Didn't know we needed that.
So I was chomping at the bit for this Starfield Genesis mod. And on Saturday, the update came out that added lightsabers.
Right.
And so even though the minimum spec called for 16 gigabytes of video RAM, I thought, this laptop's got a 5070 in it. It's going to be great. So I went through and loaded up the mod pack, and it's a Wabbajack collection. Got that running, launched it. Oh, this looks fantastic. Look, I can be an alien. And so I made an alien character.
Maybe like a Twi'lek with like the big head thing. Like what kind of alien? Are they known aliens?
There's quite a few. Yeah, so it's all Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a good collection. There's probably 10 different alien looks that you can get.
I'm not I don't know that much about Star Wars. I mean, of course, I've seen them all and even read a few books, but like, I don't know what they're called. So like, I'm like, can you be a Greedo? Like, I only know the aliens by the names of the characters, not the actual alien.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. So But as soon as I loaded into Coruscant, which is New Atlantis,
yeah.
I stepped off the ship and the slideshow began. It was, I think my FPS dropped down to about 1 frame per 15 seconds. So it was rough.
You like FPS 0.15 instead of 15.
Yeah.
You're playing a slideshow instead of a video game.
Yeah. So I toughed it out for a little bit, but it was just, unmanageable. It was fine when you were on your ship, but, once you got outside, there was no way. So, alack and alas, I uninstalled the mod pack, mostly because it took up like 150 gigabytes.
Yeah, I love the fact that you actually installed the entire thing, which people don't know. It is a good 150 gig of textures and assets and everything added, right? Like it's huge.
Oh yeah, it's huge. So so I uninstalled that, and then I went ahead and uninstalled Starfield. I'm just going to have to be patient and wait until I get to my big computer at home.
And your laptop is far better than a lot of people's PCs. I mean, it is definitely intensive. The idea that a 5070 was having trouble, I mean, is it also like onboard memory too?
Well, it's because of the RAM. So this 5070 only has 8 gigs of video RAM, and their minimum spec is 16. And so they meant it.
Yeah, they definitely meant it. But it is very cool. Like I've been watching some people play it. There are more videos on it. I mean, what's really neat about the Star Wars Genesis, overhaul is that a lot of people made a lot of parts. It is a community project, and that yes, there's a couple people that put the whole thing together, added extra quests to it, wove the whole story in. But a lot of the individual locations were made by different people, right? Like someone made a land speeder, and someone else made Tatooine, and
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting it up and running and actually being able to enjoy it because it looks great.
They bring in the Star Wars outfits too, like the orange flight suit and capes and robes and stuff like
pretty
that.
Pretty much everything.
Wow. R2-D2 and C-3PO robots and shit.
There's little droids roaming around all over the place.
Nice.
Heckin' droids, a lot of them.
I need a gong.
All the characters that would have been security, in the base game are now in Stormtrooper outfits.
And Jess, I think Greedo's like a Radion or a Ray
yeah,
something.
that's what I'm hearing in chat. A Rodian. I thought they said Rodan
there you
at first,
go. There you go.
like Godzilla, but no, it's not Rodan. It's Rodian.
It's a Rodan.
So most of the gameplay I've had has been in Skyrim because,
it runs.
That runs, yeah. And even though I can manage Skyrim vanilla, and I stayed in Skyrim vanilla until after we recorded the latest episode of Skyrimatic earlier in the week, and it was time to bail on vanilla, and so I downloaded the Septimus mod pack. Since I already had Wabbajack.
Yeah, you went all the effort for the other one. You might as well mod it, and that runs fine on the laptop, right?
Yeah, because it's a lightweight mod collection as it is. So yeah, it's not intensive in any way. So it's been running great and looking good.
When you said it's a Wabbajack thing, does that mean there's a modder named Wabbajack? Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's a mod. So it's essentially a Nexus competitor. So the Vortex mod manager, Wabbajack it's kind of a hybrid. So it still downloads all the mods from Nexus for the most part.
Right.
But
it's a competitor that uses its competitor's data. Good.
Yeah, Wabbajack. Well, Nexus is where almost all of the mods are hosted. So there's really not an easier way to get all those mods than to use a Nexus.
And does it integrate with Vortex or Mod Organizer too?
So it uses Mod Organizer as its mod manager.
Right.
So Wabbajack essentially is the host to coordinate all the downloads and everything. And then it uses Mod Organizer 2 to actually run the mods.
I know
and that's
of
the way that
like it.
the mod package that I run at home. Now I'm trying to think of the name, and it only sounds nasty. Nulvis.
Right, Nulvis. Yeah, that's the newest one. You did Nulvis 6, right?
Yeah, so that one had
It's like a virus.
over
Nulvis.
3,500 mods, and this Septimus only has 350.
Only. When you guys are talking about RAM and stuff, why does it always happen in like multiples of 16 or whatever? Why is it 16, 32, 64, 128? Why do they go in that?
So technically it happens in 4s. And it's because that's a computer word is in 4s.
I just thought it was 2s. I thought everything was either on and off. I thought that was
those
digital
are
thing.
Those are the bytes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are bits and bytes and all that.
Bits,
it's just the way the math is mathing. Yeah,
and
everything
multiplies and
16,
runs away.
32, 64, 256.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we at now? What's the good RAM? 7 million?
So you really want to run at least 16 in your, on your computer and on your video card.
I mean, I was going to say I think 8 to 12 is fine on a video card, but I guess I probably am a year or two behind. I have 12 currently, I think.
Yeah,
12 on
16
each.
is definitely.
Oh, no, so my actual PC, I've got 48.
I guess I don't understand
64.
the concept that your video card needs its own RAM, but your PC also needs RAM as well.
So, your CPU and RAM and your VPU and RAM.
V is virtual, I assume.
GPU. Graphics processor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always has had some, but the thing is, in the past, it was 2 gig, 4 gig, whatever. It's only the last decade that we've gotten into 6, 8, 12, 16 on the video card. But it's because of textures. It's loading and handling textures and all that, right? Right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it has to do with how the programmer writes the way that the RAM handles it. And so it can be handled either by the video RAM on the video card, or it can be handled by the regular RAM on the computer. And so it just
you can have them differentiated, but they share responsibilities.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
And you can have video RAM that offloads some of the processing to the regular RAM. And also, the GPU is a device that it can run more than one thing at a time. And the more things you can run at a time, the more efficient it can be.
Nice.
Yep. And so that's why 16 is, acceptable for Windows 11 and 10 and current systems. But 32 is really, it's kind of the sweet spot to be able to do anything you want. And I have 48.
Yeah, if you're doing video editing and stuff like that, you definitely want 32 or more.
Yeah, and that's why I added it, was because that way OBS has dedicated memory for stuff and processing. And it helps.
This has been Tech Talk for idiots. Over here.
Our Xboxes and PlayStations are groaning listening. Yeah.
So does the Nintendo 64, does that 64 actually mean the same thing that you guys are talking about?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure.
Well, it did in a way. It didn't mean 64 gig or meg. It meant 64 bit.
Bit. Yeah.
Because back then, that's what the processing was at.
Yeah,
that's the processing rate or processing what? Is it doing 16 a second or something? What does the 16 imply?
You're a little bit, beyond my understanding. I mean,
there's a lot of moving parts to it. So when you say 16 gigabytes of memory, you're talking about the total space that can be addressed by the computer. And it used to be that if you had a 32-bit processor, you weren't going to be able to process more than 4 gigabytes of memory. Okay. When they went to 64-bit processors, that opened up the amount of bandwidth that could access the memory and process compute cycles.
That just allows
And-
more simultaneous processes to be happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
So
And
your
the
sound
size
can
of
go
them.
from 4-bit to 8-bit. You can add more notes, more depth, more blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah,
Es-
and you can
essen-
jump into that 16-bit color.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say essentially because it's also the speed that it'll go through, and they keep adding cores, which is how they started increasing it after that. So now a lot of processors have 8 cores or 12 cores, and so they can do 12 simultaneous threads at the same time.
but you'll never see
At the
10.
higher bit
It's
rate.
always multiples of 4, right?
Normally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the easiest thing to remember when you're talking about consoles and PCs are that PCs are better.
They have nothing to do with each other. That's the most important thing to remember.
Actually, everything is an Xbox now, so sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Your dad have an Xbox, Ray?
No.
Did he play video games? Did you grow up with video games in the house? There's no way, right?
Yeah. So he still has a TI 99A emulator on his laptop that he plays with, and so he plays
But like Snake
some
and
of the old
yeah, Asteroids and Snake, Command.
But
Cool.
yeah,
This week in
he's
tech.
more solitaire, mahjong, and backgammon.
Oh yeah, my mom loves that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you don't ever want to play my dad in a game of backgammon.
I don't know if I've ever played a game of backgammon. That's the one with the
Oh, you've
the little
gotta.
discs with the triangles and you go around
Yeah.
the board and stuff. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if I've ever actually played that. You stack. Yeah, okay. No, I do know how it goes. Right.
Yeah, I
You have
think
to
we've all
stack 'em up.
we all have grandparents, so we've all
Yeah,
played it.
Chinese checkers. I always loved that with the marbles. And I don't know. Is that
Oh, yeah.
racist now? What is that game called now? It's probably not called
No,
Chinese
it's Chinese
checkers.
checkers.
Is
Oh
it
my
still?
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, China's still a country.
Well, I doubt it actually came from China. It's probably just some weird game some dude from Lithuania invented
American-
and then called
American
it Chinese
football.
checkers.
Isn't racist, so we're fine.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm pretty sure it's probably based on what was that? Go, I think is the name.
I have no idea.
Go
Let's
is
go.
great. Go is more like Othello. Yeah. Go is fantastic. I played a decent amount of Go, and I played so much Othello.
I'd
love
say
that
I would have confused Othello and backgammon, I think.
Those are different.
Yeah. Huh. Is it 4 or 16-bit Othello?
Multi-core 4.
All right. Ray, you
Yeah.
playing any more video games, sir?
That's the extent of it for me. And I haven't built any new computers, so I think we're done.
You do have some beautiful flowers outside that you posted. What can you pronounce those?
Bougainvillea.
Okay, say it again slower.
Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. I accused him of just making up a word. It's just smashing
They're
three,
very bougie.
three
Like, it's
French
not a
words
clever
together.
Yeah, it definitely looks like multiple words because there's a lot more. There's a lot more letters than there are sounds.
Yeah, bougainvillea. Yeah, it's just like no, but I don't think I'd ever heard of that flower before. But it's super beautiful.
Yeah,
Common in
they're
Southern
pretty
California.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is about as far north as you can grow the things reasonably. It's more of a Central and South America plant.
Yeah, gorgeous. Smell good? So you walk outside and smell it in the air and stuff?
Now, there's no fragrance to it at all.
Oh, that's odd. Well, Ray's probably like, good. I hate pollen. Fuck pollen. Do you suffer with that in California as much as you did in Georgia?
No.
No. All right. Thank you, Ray. Let's check in with Jess, see what you've been getting into this week. Jess, do you have a chance to play video games?
Yeah, so I played cribbage and blackjack and
Cribbage, black,
pinochle.
rummy.
I played, yeah.
What's that one?
Egyptian rat screw.
Tripoli? You ever played Tripoli?
Oh, actually, isn't Tripoli a form of solitaire? So I'm thinking of.
I
don't
thought
know.
it was like spades and poker mixed together. Hearts, maybe? I don't remember. I really don't. remember.
It just reminds me of Triple Triad, which is a card game you play in Final Fantasy, but that's totally different. I didn't
I
actually.
thought that was
play
a
the old
sexual
game.
orientation.
I
I
mean,
had no idea.
for some people it is. Yep. But wait, Final Fantasy or Triple Triad? I think they both might be.
Why choose?
Egyptian rat screw. Do you remember that game? That was fun. That was
I
wicked
do
popular when we
remember
were in school.
ERS. Yes.
It was kind of like Slapjack, but it had its own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yep, I remember that game. It was great. And Shithead, that was really close. Scheisskopf.
That might be just our generation, like older millennials and younger Gen X.
They didn't. We were the last generation of card games, right? Come on.
We were, but yeah, I mean, you mentioning backgammon. So like I played backgammon with my great grandma, and I learned how to play cribbage with a friend's mom, and so like these are games that get passed down. That I haven't played most of them in years. Cribbage is fun though.
I imagine those games are dying out now.
Yeah, Go Fish. Rando's tossing out Go Fish, War, Skip Bow, Uno. Uno is still good.
Bow. I got Uno for Mo for Christmas.
Relevant.
We got Mario Kart Uno. And it had, instead of like Skip, it's like Blue Shell,
That is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, is the Uno reverse like a banana peel or something?
I forget, but yeah, they just incorporate what. And then I saw they have every Uno now. Like every IP has its Uno. I bet you there'll be Skyrim Uno next year. You know what I mean? Like
like we've got every Risk, now it's every Uno.
Yeah, it's just like Funko Pop blew up and everything has a Funko. It's like, yeah, Uno's every IP is gonna have an Uno soon. Like it seriously was everything. The Uno aisle is getting. It's not just a little section of Uno anymore. It's like all these different Uno things. It's crazy.
Yeah, chat has Avengers Uno and Simpsons Uno.
Yeah,
there are a bunch of them.
There's He-Man's coming back, so there'll be He-Man Uno, the Smurfs Uno. There's probably K-pop Demon Hunters Uno.
There should be. Absolutely.
Is that a thing? Did I say that right? I feel like such an old man.
K-pop Demon Hunter.
K-pop Demon Hunter. Okay, I know my son's talking about. I don't know. I have no idea what it is.
Better than the other one that I can't say, like Demon Hunter Initsuyami.
Initsuyami.
Yeah. There are some pretty popular. I mean, there are some pretty popular cartoons now on Netflix.
Korean television in general has fucking blown up. I think it might just be some weird Netflix thing, but Tori's watching like four or five different Korean shows recently. Yeah, well, and some of the U.S. ones like Has Been Hotel, or some of the ones with the critical role people like the Mighty Nine and stuff like that. They've gotten really popular. Dude, super sweet. So anyway, I didn't actually play any card games this week, though. Did you play any backgammon this week? To be real, I did play some Windows Mahjong, which I don't do that often, but I pulled out the old Mahjong install and I did play a couple rounds of Mahjong. That's actually cool. Happened. My mom loves, I don't know how to say it, Mahjong, whatever. Yeah, when I was younger, it was one of my favorite like chill out games. I had this shareware Mahjong, that actual shareware, and we sent the guy, it was actually a friend, but I got a copy. We sent the guy money and we got the actual 3.5-inch floppy with the unlocked thing. And I had that version of Mahjong installed on multiple computers all through the late 90s into 2000s. Yeah, Dad just installed that in his new computer. Love it. Mahjong it's a classic. It's just relaxing. The hardest thing was scaring up a a floppy disk that we could connect to his PC. Oh, wait. He installed from disk? Uh-huh. I wonder if he has the same old version that I did. Probably. You guys have the same fucking floppy. I lost it like 15 years ago or so, but yeah, I had it forever. It was a 3.5-inch floppy. That's crazy, Bo. And then I would just copy, because it's just a tiny exe file, just copy it, PC to PC to PC over the years. I wonder if I do still have it somewhere. Anywho, video games. So I was going to say I didn't play any video games this week, but I actually did. And I'm not going to talk about Puzzle Cat. I only played one cat game. We don't need to talk about it. But last weekend, we did the StarCon did happen, and it actually went really well. And it was super inspiring. There were some really great panels on mods and stuff like that. And since I had already been back in Starfield a bit, like I was saying, I spent a lot of Saturday and Sunday playing Starfield. I was just really in the zone, not just for picks or doing a few missions or chill out. I went in, and my goal was because the one achievement that eluded me, okay, it's the achievement hunting just happening again. The one that eluded me, if you guys might recall, was there's one in Shattered Space for crafting every type of vortex grenade. And it's really difficult because you need specific glowing cysts, dark cysts, regular vortex cysts, vortex shards, all this stuff. Now you get tons of shards easily. And when I was playing through, I thought the dark cysts, by the way, cysts, what a weird word. It's kind of gross, right? But whatever, that's what they're called. And glowing cysts. And I thought they'd be the hard ones. But when the time came and I finished,
the ones I didn't have were just regular plain vortexes. I had almost none. And you need a bunch of them to craft. So I spent, if people might remember, I spent probably an extra 5 hours running around Shattered Space, Dazra, trying to get them after I finished most of Shattered Space. And I couldn't. I was one short, and I couldn't make my last grenade. And I was just looking and looking. Well, I went back. Ostensibly, I'm like, I'm going to take some cool pictures there. Our photo challenge that we did for the Starborn Collective last Saturday was called Pale Sun. I'm like, the sun over Varun Kai is pretty pale. That's where I'm going to go. We're going to do this. And so I did the edge of the map, found points of interest I hadn't found before because I hit the 50 you needed for the achievement. But I did more edge of the map. And then there was actually one interior to the map that I hadn't gotten. I didn't realize. So after another probably 4 hours, well, at least 3 hours around Dazra, probably 4, I got a Vortexus. And I crafted my grenade. I went back to my ship immediately. I did not fast go. I clicked $100. It was just like immediate. Bam. And I crafted it, and that achievement popped, and I heard that sweet, sweet, rare achievement sound. Only 0.15% of people have gotten this one. That's how rare it is. But I needed it. I needed it bad.
Crazy achiever. Overachiever. There you go.
It was fun. So, yeah, Starfield, getting those last achievements. Obviously there haven't been any Starfield updates for so long. We've talked about it a bit. There are still some great mods coming out, regularly, almost weekly, and some great verified creator mods, great from the greater, larger community. Some mod roll-ups are happening now, which is a good thing that happens over time, because people will make a mod for this and a mod for that. And like, oh, I'm changing the outfits for this faction. But now we're getting some of the all-in-ones. They're like taking these 8 separate mods, rolling them into one, makes it much more easy to manage. So yeah. I'm enjoying that. And yeah, my game's running great. It's looking great. Oh, also, I think I might have said before, but on the new 4K TV downstairs, Starfield looks so pretty. It's so good. There are times when I'm like, for performance reasons, I should probably put it down to 1080 or 1440. No, I'm just running it in 4K. On the Xbox Series X does admirably. I don't have stuttering. I think it's a pretty solid 30 FPS locked. But it is funny. You know how a lot of games, and on PC it doesn't matter as much, but you can prioritize performance or visuals. Most people, they'll go for performance. I pretty much will always go for visuals. If I can at least keep 30. I'm okay with 30 and all the visual goodies. I just don't want sub 30.
I think anyone who knows you would not be surprised by that. They know how much time you spend in like photo mode and stuff like that. They know that the presentation is very important.
It is. I do love a smooth game, though. I like, if it's competitive multiplayer or whatever, it is smooth is important. That's why I have a minimum standard, but I guess my standards are lower for graphics. But yeah, so Starfield, that was pretty much it, just revisiting a lot of mods I want to try, and I still haven't finished the Crimson Fleet, though I've started it. I should finally have the Crimson Fleet fully done by the time the next Starfield update happens, which they still haven't announced. But StarCon, it was great. My talk with Wes and Jan went really well. Some of the other presentations were wonderful. It was really well attended, too. With it being a Zoom webinar format, based off the website, you had to register and watch there, although some people did broadcast on Twitch, and almost all the panels are up on YouTube now. I did a big Reddit post with a directory of them for people. And I believe Pedro, who is the organizer, is going to put them on the website eventually. But yeah, they went well. Very happy with my panel. I got to tell you, I mean, obviously, a few of us have talked to us a few times. We've seen him on things. He is incredibly easy to talk to. And I mean, he could have just done it all himself. He doesn't even need me asking questions, right, Ray?
No, I think it, you got him going in the right direction. And, he definitely is well practiced at this.
Exactly. Good at pulling out like the appropriate and relevant anecdotes. But we had a few new ones, I think, or a few semi-new ones. It was great. Oh, yeah. Chad agrees that this sound gross. Thank you. Like, there are words that should just not be in language. Pus is one of them. God, I hate that word. Ew, God. And cysts, that's another one. I just don't like these words. Abscess. Yeah, maybe it's just bodily fluids. I don't know. They're not great.
Yeah. So, I did have to laugh a lot. So Jan Johns didn't say a lot, but she's a contortionist. She's sitting in this little tiny booth, and I expected at any minute that both of her legs would be crossed behind her head,
It's great because, like a lot of us sit cross-legged, but yeah, she's taken it to another level. Like with the camera and the comfy chair, just sitting back, she's like crossing them, she's moving them, she's twisting around. It was great.
But yeah, no, that was really well done. And, I appreciated that your, co-host didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, they were a little quiet. I tried to make room for them, but, like Jay said, he said, I'm a listener today. That's awesome. Just glad you're there for moral support.
But it's always good to listen to Wes and all of his stories. He's been at it for a while.
Absolutely. So that was really fun. But those are most of my games this week because between Starfield and A Night of Cats and then editing that down for YouTube and a few other things. And busy week. Plus shoveling and staying warm. We've already talked about that. People in Discord, we don't need to go there. But for anybody who dealt with the ice last weekend, I hope you're okay. For anyone who dealt with the snow last weekend and all this week, I hope you dug out okay. I hope everybody is warm, safe, cozy. We were talking ahead of time about, where we're keeping the furnace at and stuff. Things are running overtime. Yeah. The furnace bills are going to be high this month.
And I saw, I think in Tennessee and Mississippi, each state had over 80,000 people without power as of this morning, and Louisiana had 40,000 people without power. This one is, just still lots of wide swaths of
the ice was
problems.
A big deal. Mm-hmm. And people in New Jersey, mid-state area, obviously, my home stomping grounds in New England got a lot on Monday. So.
And there's another one on its heels tonight or tomorrow night, I hear, too. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah, I hope people are well stocked. It's winter, but it's been a heavy one.
This is why we spend all the time in the fall harvesting and jarring everything, Jess. Come on.
Yes, we gotta pickle everything. Pickle them sausages.
Pickle
them beets. Pickle them eggs.
Pickle sausages.
Them pickles.
Yeah.
God, I love pickled sausages. Spicy. Do you ever have those? Like little.
Yeah, the pickled everything. Pickled sausage, yum. Pickled bologna, yum. Pickled pepperoni, yum. Everything.
You know what I'm excited about coming up in a couple of weeks here? Speaking of sausages.
We got Fashionat coming up?
Yes, we got Fashionat coming up. And I think I told you guys that there's a good chance I'm going, and I can now confirm I will be going to Fashionat this year, which means I'll be missing a show in 2 weeks. But I will be at Fashionat, and I will be getting
that's great.
Fashionat donuts and delicious Fashionat sausages, and I'll be stomping around with masks.
Oh, beautiful. You gonna make a mask to take down big paper mache thing to wear?
Friends are doing that. I don't know if I will or not, because I wasn't prepped enough ahead, like knowing if I'd have time or not, or knowing if I'd definitely go or not. So I may actually cop out on the mask front, I'll be honest. But my first time there, it's okay. I can be maskless.
Just make sure you hit up that cheese house.
It's so classic. When you get your tickets, or in this case, it's actually a wristband. You have to get your tickets directly from, the town council. And so I get a nice letter from the town council. Thank you for supporting Fashionat. Here's something about a heritage of our celebration. Here's a little map of the town. And the map of the town is, so much like Fashionat in 76. You're like, here's this and that. And then we're going to have the parade then. You can wear a mask. You can not. You can dance. You don't have to. Like, they've got all these things. I'm like, I'm just marching with the robots. So hopefully there are robots there.
With my luck, I would show up at Fashionat, and over in the band section, Bob Carroll would just be sitting in a chair, like spinning for hours. Bob, what are you doing?
Oh my God, if he was actually there, that would be amazing. Like just on the drum the entire time.
Just spinning in his chair.
Yeah. This
is how I play Fashionat, guys.
On the instruments. But so I'm really looking forward to that, speaking of sausages. But I want to hear about gameplay, and we got feedback tonight, and we are really it's an off-topic Friday.
It is. I really have no gameplay. I've been playing Zelda Ocarina of Time on my 3DS. Been lots of fun, but that was just sort of in preparation because we got Mo the Switch 2, which just kind of means I've gotten a hold of the Switch, and then we upgraded our Nintendo pack to get the GameCube and all the games. So like you have to like upgrade each level or whatever to get the different streaming games. So I got all the GameCube games and everything now, so I'm going to have another hack at Wind Waker. I used to claim it was my favorite video game of all time. It still might be. I used to play it once a year religiously, but I have not played it in many years now, but maybe since we started this show, since Fallout has overtaken my life. But I have been going through Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, which is really fun. I'm up to the Zoras now of the, there's like the main 3 parts as a kid, and then you go through the Temple of Time, and you do the 3 parts as an adult. I'm still on the kid part. I haven't gone through the Temple of Time yet, but I was going to see if I could rush through that game really quickly before I did start the Wind Waker. But I'm really excited to play Wind Waker on the Switch because all of the, games get like a slight performance upgrade and stuff like that. And it was just always one of my favorites. So I'm super excited to see all the little purple puffs of my enemies floating away. And other than that, Mo and I played some Mario Kart. We got that new Donkey Kong game last week. So it's not a 2-player game really. So I kind of like watched him play a lot. And tomorrow, our plan this weekend is to do a Mario Kart tour, basically, where we're just, since we now have like, I think the only game we don't have access to now would be Mario Kart Wii, but we're going to do Grand Prix in all of the Mario Kart games this weekend. That's our big plan. We're going to
that'll be fun.
We're going to do a Mario Kart Grand Prix in the Game Boy Advance version and the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo. I guess it started with Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, the GameCube, Wii.
Any of Mo's friends maybe joining? Just the two of you doing this? You're going to get Mom involved?
I don't know. I was asking his buddy if he could come spend the night this weekend. I haven't heard back yet, so I doubt he's coming over, but I don't know. Well, right now it's just us two, but Mom's got to work. She got a big day tomorrow. But yeah, that's our big plan tomorrow. Do a bunch of Grand Prix and the different games. Grand Prix is funny. Mo, just reads stuff and doesn't really, know French or anything yet. So it's like the Grand Prix. No, it is not the Grand Prix.
Yeah, it is. It is now.
No, that's not how we say that. And oh god, he always says, because he reads YouTube stuff a lot too, so he'll always talk about songs, words, and lyrics. I'm like, no, that's lyrics. Lyrics. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much my gameplay. I tried to play Fallout 4 earlier this week, and then I remembered,
went great.
Yeah, since I don't have the Xbox One X will not play the disc, so it doesn't think that I own Fallout 4. It thought, because I guess I was playing the Game Pass version the last year or whatever I was playing.
You should absolutely be able to install it from the disc. Like, it's just frustrating. You should be able to put that in and install it.
Yeah,
without a problem. And yet
cool.
Yours is weird.
I don't know. It won't go. I think they just want me to buy the anniversary edition. So I looked at it. I'm like, God damn, I'm not going to pay fucking 60, 80, whatever dollars it is for this fucking game again. How many times do I can play? But I'll get on Switch too. Will I get all the buff? I won't get all the shit though if I get on Switch 2. It won't be any of the stuff, will it? I won't have.
You're gonna buy it on. You're gonna buy it on Switch 2 too, absolutely. But we got to get you the regular Fallout 4.
Yeah, I need it on my Xbox One. I just didn't even think about it because I canceled Game Pass or whatever. I didn't think about it until I sat down last weekend and was like, oh, maybe we'll run through Fallout 4 a couple hours here. See what I haven't checked into that character in a month. So,
if there's any game in your entire life that you own, it's Fallout 4. Like, everyone listening knows that.
And I could seriously take the disc upstairs and play it on Mo's Xbox upstairs. Just won't play on the Xbox One X. It'll play on Xbox One just fine, just not the One X.
Or the Series X. Yeah.
So stupid.
It should just install. So weird.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, shit, I don't have Fallout 4. Maybe I'll play some Fallout 76. And it was like, you must be not Game Pass, but whatever the service is. I'm like, fuck,
it is Game Pass now. You have to have at least the lowest
level is like, yeah. So I canceled that, and I thought, oh, fuck, I forgot you have to have that for just online gaming in general. So I need to I need to re-sign up for at least the base.
Get the $9.99 version,
I need
the base version. Yeah, because since they moved Xbox Live as part of it now, you think, oh, I'm canceling Game Pass, but really you just want to go to the lowest tier.
Yeah. So I was, that was frustrating because
we just we need to get you a computer.
We do, except for I do not trust myself to be able to make it work. Like I would need someone.
I don't trust you either, but
I do not trust myself to be able to assemble it. Yeah, Ray, if you want to come up for a few days and we'll snap something together, you stop by your little CompuServe person, your black market. It's not CompuServe. What's your store?
Micro Center.
Your Micro Center. Step into the back room. Someone flashes a trench coat, Ray's video cards, and he can walk out with it. He's got the hookup. Well, when you build yourself a new computer every year, they get to know your face, right, Ray?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So no, actually, I would not be opposed to building a PC. I could set a chunk of change aside and build one, but I do and after you build it, that's no guarantee that I can maintain it, keep it in a functioning state. You know what I mean?
You have to
tinker with stuff. I'm not good at tinkering with computers.
You can still be a coucher though. Set it up downstairs.
Yeah.
Coucher PC.
Except for now I want to go upstairs and play on Mo's couch so I can actually play Fallout 4. All right, enough complaining from me. All right, let's roll into the rest of the show. What do we got up here? We got lots of feedback to get into. So let's get into some Roundtable stuff, feedback.
What is it with the Roundtable stuff?
We make feedback. All right, just want to go through order here, Jess. Do you have any particular...
Yes, go the order we have listed there. I think that's good. We have feedback from 6 people this week. A few people were delayed. Also... honest hearts, if you weren't already doing it ahead, it is a lot to get through in 1 week.
It is. Oh, I had left it in limbo last time. I was right before the final thing. I did make the final trek up and do the last battle and stuff. And it is a slog. It is a slog. You guys are right about that.
Yeah,
I was just I must be done. And then it's 2 more. And I must be done now. Nope, 2 more. No, must be done now. It's just what the fuck, guys? And then when I'm not expecting it to end... the video credits roll. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I was expecting more. And it seemed like it ended prematurely after ending way too late, if that makes sense.
It's a slog going across the landscape. A lot of the landscape by then if you've explored a bit, but there's still that whole new area because you fought. Yeah. Now, at the end, did you use speech checks to stop him from killing? Did you do one-on-one combat? How did you resolve it?
Speech checks, yes, to stop. Yeah. I was watching, I had a question about the end. I need to watch the end video again because I had a big lore question, but then I forgot what it was. I should have written that down. I need to watch that again and ask you guys. I actually saved all the screens
from the slideshow.
Oh, did you? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're going to sit here for 10 minutes. You just read those, and I'll see which one it is, okay? Read them.
No, we're good. We're good. But that might make a good cover this week.
You post them in the chat, and we'll just sit here and read and be live action New Vegas outro. Honest Hearts outro. Yeah, so I got wrapped up. Let's hear how other people fared over there in Honest Hearts. Where are we, in Utah? Where are we? No, we're not in Utah.
Yep, yeah, Utah. We're in Zion.
Okay. Zion. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Let's check in with Rando.
The Diaries of Myra Timpany, Volume 5. I caught a radio signal from the Happy Trails caravan. They're traveling to the Zion Canyon. Ever since I woke up in Doc Mitchell's house, or since I woke up at the 188 and met Veronica, I've been depending on her and Eddie, but haven't done anything alone. I'm going to go to Zion Canyon with these guys. Leave Eddie and V at the Lucky 38. She'll definitely be happy with the room service. While I go on my way, on my own for a bit. I need to do this. I need to test myself, especially with what's coming. Well, the Happy Trails caravan all died, and these white legs tribals broke my power armor helmet. Seriously, I just got this. And because of our expert route Jeb picked, I can't turn back and go back the way I came to New Vegas. But this followers chalk guy showed up, and he's taking me to meet Joshua Graham. I haven't been here 5 minutes, and I already hate this place. A fun turn of events. There's no death bunnies here. Just these swarms of danger kitties. I can't wait to get back to the strip. Oh Lord, it just keeps getting better and better. Now my way back to New Vegas is dependent on me helping this religious militant, wrapped up like a mummy, find parts. And how you say, walkie-talkies? He's former Legion, but Caesar hates him, so he can't be all bad. But the way he keeps looking down the barrel of all these guns he's cleaning is very concerning. But as usual, guess I'm going to find stuff, meet Daniel and the Sorrows, after meeting Joshua and the dead horses, and fight the white legs the whole time. This could be one of those old movies. I think I'll call it Dances with Yogwais. Daniel seems nice enough. I don't blame him for wanting to take the Sorrows and get the heck out of here. Hell, that's what I'm trying to do. Joshua wants to fight and wipe out the white legs, which I also don't blame him. They're assholes. They broke my helmet. Made a new friend. The Veronica of Zion, Miss Waking Cloud. And to be honest, she looks great for having 3 kids. I don't know if I can pull that outfit off. Anyway, I guess I'm going to help with the bear problem, and then start dealing with the white legs to clear a path for the Sorrows, so they can get out of here. I got drunk and fought a bear. I can't believe I let Whitebird coax me into that. But everyone's safer without the ghost of she around. We also disarmed some traps, blew up some bear cave, stole some totems, and fought more white legs. Waking Cloud is going back to the Sorrows to help with the evacuation, and I guess Mr. Graham and I are going to clear a path and try to help the Sorrows escape. Should be a fun afternoon. Nothing like a long hike and impending danger to cure a hangover. Well, shit. I couldn't get all the Sorrows, so Daniel got all pissed. Like, sorry buddy, I didn't go fight all of the people that you weren't wanting to fight. But he still gave me the map to get home. So I'm headed back to Vegas after blowing this tunnel so the white legs can't follow the Sorrows. Good luck with all the religion and whatnot, you guys. Relieved to be back in New Vegas. I'm going to hit the town with Veronica and Eddie. And I was wrong. I can totally pull off the Sorrows outfit. And I got a new helmet.
Woohoo.
Going to hang out with the Gamora girls and blow off some steam before continuing my recruitment efforts. A little party at the Gamora never hurt anyone. Right? Right? Right. Hey guys, Rando here. Just a little extra tidbits I didn't throw in the diaries. The Sorrows escaped. The dead horses and Joshua pretty much hunted the white legs out of existence. The Happy Shells Caravan Company is now doing business with the Zion people like once a year, and everybody's happy. The end.
The end.
I love
That
it.
girl could use a tan.
We're talking about Myra, right? We're talking about Rando's character, Myra.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she is very pale. So we got pictures in chat as he went through. And not to start at the end first, but I will say, Myra does pull off that outfit pretty well, but wearing that helmet with
The
it.
mask with the cod piece.
Yeah. But I mean, he needs the gauntlet.
It would kind of make it. Yeah, but the Salt on Wounds helmet. So for those who haven't seen Salt on Wounds mask/helmet, it kind of looks like the front end of a snowplow with like a weird skull face drawn on it. So picture that with an incredibly skimpy outfit. But I mean, it's probably a draw there at Gamora. Looking good, Myra.
Skin is like glowing, translucent skin.
We're just scrolling the pictures. One thing I do want to point out, I mean, there are a couple things there that we got through. Dances with Yagwai. I really like that reference.
Yeah, that was cute.
Getting drunk and killed a bear, that is something that we kind of glossed over last week, that none of us did the full thing. And that is the quest with Whitebird, where you have to find if you want to get the bear gauntlet for yourself, you have to find the Datura route, and you have to get a bunch of Datura route from high remote locations around the Sorrows, bring it back to him, and then he has you, drink a mixture, get both high and drunk off whatever this is, and then you have to, take a bit of a journey and slay a couple Yaogwai to get the paw, right? It's the ghost den. Is it like a Yaogwai spirit, if I remember correctly? So But none of us did that, right? Ourselves this time?
I didn't finish it, no. I wanted to, but then I remember who said it last week. Was it Calm Horizon? Said, yeah, I did got the bear claw, and then I went back to my power fist anyway. It just wasn't as good, I was like, and I'm not invested in melee or unarmed or whatever that would be. I'm totally leaning gun, so it would just be for show, maybe to give to a follower to use or something. Because it looks cool. It does look fucking badass. The picture, except for, do bears have thumbs? I was looking at the pic. It just looks like 5 weird fingers.
I'm not opposed to thumbs. No, I don't. I don't know if they have them on their paws.
But that is a massive gauntlet.
It is awesome looking.
Yeah, it is big as. Wow.
Very cute.
That is awesome. And Lee's saying Datura root all over. That's true. Datura root all over. You need sacred Datura root. There's special, specific Datura root for the quest. Also,
the Datura root is known for being extremely poisonous due to powerful tropane alkaloids such as scopolamine, with roots often being the most potent part, used historically as a deliriant or poison, but exceptionally dangerous to its unpredictable potency. Wow.
I
just looked it up to see if it was real. Yeah, that's awesome.
Tropane and tropane accessories. I don't even know what that is.
Very cool.
Very cool. But yeah, so you kill the ghost of the she-bear.
She-bear.
And after you slay her, that's when you earn the paw. It's pretty awesome. So that's great that Myra did that.
And this is all shut down once you leave. You can't go back and get stuff. I just have to reload in the middle if I wanted to go back and get it.
So you can go back.
Oh, you can?
Right. It's just the quest is done. Like there's nothing happening there, but you can go back to explore. There won't be population.
Fast travel, or do you have to go to that North Passage thing?
I think you have to go to the North Passage, but I don't remember. I haven't tried it this playthrough.
Yeah. I don't think I ever went back.
Cool.
I did before looking up the survivalist stuff. You know what I mean? Because I didn't find it all the first time I played. And so when I learned about it, I'm like, oh, let me go back and find the rest of those.
Because, I know I haven't explored it very much, the survival stuff with the cooking, but it evidently, I could tell that they added a bunch of that sort of stuff over here. I just don't mess with that kind of stuff. Do you find that useful at all? Like, if I played at a harder level of gameplay, or like is there some sort of survival mode where you have to eat or something like that? Like that makes all the cooking and stuff useful. Have you guys ever played that sort of role?
So a few people are playing on the hardcore. I'm not either.
Is hardcore where you have to sleep and eat and cold? No, probably not cold here. Too hot? Ooh, can you get too sweaty? You need a shower. You smell bad.
It's really just basic needs, right? It's really just food and a few other things, and companion permadeath and stuff like that.
Don't say it. Gasp. I literally gasped. How dare.
Yeah, John confirms going back to the North Passage is how you go back.
Okay.
Sounds like he's done it this time.
And I love how in New Vegas, when they take a knee, they look like they die. It's like Victoria's unconscious. All right.
Yeah, it really is. They collapse.
They do.
But thank you, Rando. That was good stuff.
Yep.
Do we have? I believe we've got Suliore and Ace up next.
Yes, we do.
Hey, all you cool cats and dolls. This is Ace Rockwell back with another report from my trips around the Mojave Wasteland, or in this case, Zion National Park. So, I've had this message on my Pip-Boy for a while now saying that they needed help with the Happy Trails Caravan Company. I figured, what the hell, I had time. Go to this cave up in the north and meet this guy named Jed Masterson. Said that he's making a delivery to Zion National Park and they need help. Someone who can do a little bit of fighting for them. Now, this is out in Utah, so you know what? It's fine. As long as I'm not gone too long, I still have shit that I need to take care of in the Mojave. A few extra caps couldn't hurt, right? Well, it did hurt them. We were nearly there when we got ambushed by some natives. Called themselves the White Legs. Well, they're now on my shit list. I don't take too kindly to things trying to kill me, human or otherwise. Unfortunately, I was the only one to survive the ambush. So I make my way across the river and up this hill, and I meet another native that I almost shot named Follows Chalk. I guess he's part of a rival native tribe called the Dead Horses. If he's against the Whitelegs, then he's good in my book. Well, I guess I spoke too soon because he annoys the hell out of me. I can't tell you how many times he told me I was going the wrong way when he was trying to lead me back to the Dead Horses camp. Just let me fucking explore. It's kind of my thing. Oh, and if I hear one more time how we can't have anything as scary as Yao Guai back where I'm from, then he's gonna get it in the face. Bitch, try dealing with death bunnies. They'll make your Yao Guai look like a joke. After I finally reached the Dead Horses camp, I was happy to be rid of Follows Chalk, and then instead I got to travel around with Waking Cloud. I like her. And that Yao Guai gauntlet that she's got, that's badass. While I was there, I also met two of the leaders. I met Daniel, who wants to lead the third native tribe, the Sorrows, out of Zion rather than fight the Whitelegs. And then there's Joshua Graham, who would like to stay and fight the Whitelegs alongside the Dead Horses. The fact that he used to be affiliated with the Legion made my skin crawl, but you know what? He's former. He definitely doesn't like them anymore. They tried to kill him. Now, I don't get into all that religious stuff that he keeps spouting, but I do like the fact that he's willing to stay and fight for what's his, and not get pushed around. After doing some scouting and gathering of materials, and vandalizing some of the Whitelegs totems, it was time to take the fight directly to the Whitelegs. Joshua Graham decided to come with me on this one. We cut through the river and into the canyon. At one point, some boulders fell, and I thought they'd crushed him, but nah, we just got separated. Eventually, we find out where Saltpond Wounds, their leader, was staying. Joshua had him and one of his companions there, bound and on their knees. He was going to execute him. I thought that was in poor taste. At least give them the chance to fight and defend themselves. I'm sure Joshua would have felt the same in his position. There was no chance in convincing him to surrender, so at least give him the chance to fight. Turns out he wasn't much of a match. My YCS 186 did the job. After that, Joshua thanked me, and that was it. Daniel wasn't too happy, but he can suck it. Running away from your problems is never the answer. Eventually, they'll catch up to you. So, after that, I packed my bags and went back to the Mojave. Maybe I'll see what Boone's up to. And until then, why don't I turn this back to Suliore?
Sounds like you had quite the adventure.
You have no idea. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. It wasn't nearly as long as I remembered. That went pretty quick. But Zion is such a beautiful area in the game. I love it so much. Definitely got tired of Follows Chalk very quickly because he just would not shut up with the same 3 or 4 lines. But it had been a few years since we'd played, so I didn't really remember the story that much. I just always had it in mind that Joshua Graham was a villain, but you know what? I definitely saw his side of the whole thing. Yeah, definitely enjoyed it. It'll be fun going to Big MT. That is still, I think, my favorite DLC. Although, we'll see what it's like with Lonesome Road. I don't think I've ever actually finished that one, so definitely looking forward to that. And, yeah, good times. Actually, had a lot of fun with this DLC and just exploring the area. It was definitely great. So, anyway, until next time, I will see everybody in the Wasteland.
Very cool. Thank you much, Mr. Suliore. He started off by saying, and this was something I was wondering, he got a message on his Pip-Boy that he needed to go assist these people. What is this? Was this like a radio transmission, or who sent this, or what happened with it? I forget how.
That's the recruitment beacon that we get on the radio from Mr. Masterson. There is it John Masterson, Chuck Masterson,
that guy. Okay. Mr. Masterson.
But yeah, the guy who starts the caravan.
The picture up here that Rando posted, he was like, oh, Mr. Matterson, I left my one-of-a-kind plasma can back at base. Can we go back for it? Yeah, that guy.
Jed, that's it. Jed Masterson. Thank you.
Jed. Mr., please.
It's more like Dead Masterson, but that's a whole nother thing.
So it's just an SOS sort of message that, hey, we need...
No, it's not. No, it's recruitment.
Oh,
it's
recruitment.
Like, hey,
oh, right.
Come on down and work for us.
We're delivering. Okay.
Right. We don't know it's going to all go south. We know it's dangerous. We don't know it's going to technically go north, but you know what I'm saying.
Technically north. Well, sort of northwest.
But the comments about white chalk, the number of lines that follows chalk. Oh my goodness. The number of lines that follow chalk and Waking Cloud have, they are a bit repetitive, especially if you travel with them for a while. So I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed follows chalk, but I get why he annoyed people.
I thought it was weird how they would sort of like give you followers and then remove them. And then give you a different one and then remove it. And give you a different one and remove it. It's just like... It
was a good way to tell you the story. It's not something that Bethesda normally does. And when they do, it's in addition to your follower normally. Normally it's in addition to your follower, or the expedition is before and after. But in this case, they were a significant part of the story. Follows Chalk told you a lot about the area and all that, and then you got the perspective on a lot of things from Waking Cloud and Joshua. So I thought it was a neat technique. But
do the other DLCs make you leave your buddies at home? I assume.
Yes,
they all
pretty much all do, don't they? Yeah.
And stuff, the same thing with stuff. Like there's a limit of how much stuff you can bring in. Do they do that at each of them as well?
Not at all of them.
No,
okay. But the last one definitely. Dead Money, they will. Yeah, but I think you can bring most of your stuff to Old World Blues, right? And you can definitely for Lonesome Road.
And Ray was saying that's because there's just so much crap to take home with you, right? That's why they do that. So you don't load up
and not being able to travel back and forth. You also don't want to lose your favorite weapon there because you don't have room,
Yeah. Is there a camp sort of place to establish? Where do you, if you're going to have like a place there, where are you going to store your stuff? Is there safe storage somewhere?
So, in Zion and Honest Hearts, the best place to store stuff is right next to Joshua Graham's table. So where he's up there, doing his guns over and over again. If you look to the right,
looking down the barrels.
If you look to the right, slightly off, there is a crafting bench and an ammo bench, and next to it, there's a box. That box is free storage. It's labeled crafting box. You can put anything in there.
Oh,
so if you're over a cucumber at any time, you can keep stuff there.
Very fun. And when you just said like 20 minutes ago that you can go back. So, all right, neat.
So you could ferry stuff back and forth from there, most likely. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to imagine who would be around, like based on how you played it. Right? Is that who will be there when you go back?
You'll actually find some of the dead horses there, even though they have. Even if they've abandoned the place and left. I think you'll still find some of them at the camp, but, you can't really interact with them or do anything with them.
Okay.
And it was mentioned, I think John said, because like we mentioned, he went back. He said, you still can't take a companion, and the dead horses will just watch as you get attacked by creatures. So,
Oh, they don't even participate. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yep. So it changes a bit, the way it works.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Suliore. Let's check in with Calm Horizons and Nicky.
Hey there, Fallout Feed. This is Nicky. Today here with me, I've got Matt, Calm Horizons on the Discord. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Well, anyway, today we're going to be talking about the Honest Hearts DLC. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you, Nicky. For this week, I didn't have any particularly special experiences with the main quests, so I wanted to talk about the side quests that I did for the most part. First one up is the one that Follows Chalk gives you. It's doing the Bighorner calf, getting that back to the herd. And so I had the whole conversation with him, and then he's very explicit, right, about how don't kill the Bighorners because they want to be able to still hunt them over the season or whatever. Don't kill the Bighorners was the secondary goal for this mission. And so, okay, fine, I won't kill the Bighorners. So my sneak is pretty good. I follow the path and I get up to where I can see the first Bighorner, and the description was that the baby calf had not made it up there or something like that. So I thought, oh, I must have missed the baby calf.
What's a bighorner?
Like a giant sheep, basically. A ram. A giant ram.
Okay. You must have missed the bighorner.
The baby one, to try, because here's the mother right here, and I haven't seen a calf anywhere. So I've been sneaking this whole time. I turn around, I start heading back down the mountain because it looked like there was a path that I hadn't taken, that maybe I had missed the calf. And as I'm going back down, I get a notification pop up that says that one of the bighorners have been killed. And so, like, okay, Follows Chalk, you're the one that told me not to kill anything, but you went and killed one while my back was turned. But I turned around and Follows Chalk is just sitting there right behind me. So I was thinking, like, okay, is this like a Bethesda thing where a bighorner fell from the sky or something? So I go down to the bottom, I see no calf, so I turn back around, and as I'm walking back up, Joshua Graham is coming down the path from the top of the mountain. I think he killed the first bighorner you see, which is the mother bighorner, blew her head off. Like, way to go, Joshua Graham. We're not supposed to kill these things. What are you even doing up here? And so go through and walk up to the top of the whole path, find the baby calf, bring it back to the herd, and I'm not done yet. I can't figure out where I'm supposed to bring it. And then I realize it's telling me to go further on. I bring the baby calf back to the dead, headless mother bighorner and complete the quest. Look at me. What a success. Good job.
The trauma.
So then the other big side quest that I did was with the Sorrows doing the vision quest type thing to get the Yaogwai Gauntlet. That's what I wanted. The unique Yaogwai Gauntlet, Shay's Remembrance. This one was a nightmare. God, the Yaogwai are so hard in Zion. Not the cubs. The cubs were fine, but the giant Yaogwai were really tough. If I only had one to fight, I could kill them in a VATS round, and it was fine. I had no trouble. Eat any more than one, and I was not great. And then getting to where the ghost was itself was not great, but not terrible. But then trying to fight Shay herself or himself, whatever, I would do a whole VATS round, but it wasn't dead. And as soon as VATS was over, it like spawned duplicates of itself. And which one am I supposed to fight? And all of them hurt. I died multiple times. And the way I ended up getting through it was Med-X and Psycho and Rushing Water, which is a survival thing that you can make that has jet in it. So it makes you attack faster. Anyway, all of that together, and I was able finally to bring down Shay. And like up until this point in the game, I haven't had trouble killing things since I picked up the Power Fist in Novak. So this was a shock to all of a sudden have so much trouble even doing any part of this quest. It was hard from the entrance all the way to beating Shay, but I did it. And I got the gauntlet, and then it wasn't better than the ballistic fist that I'm already using. So I don't even. It's in a box in my hotel room in Novak now. I have it. Hooray! But as an unarmed character, I can't not have it. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it.
Well, if that's all you have to say, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Well, and we'll see you on the wasteland.
Thank you, Nicky. I guess Matt, too.
Beautiful. I love the way they wrap that up and focusing on some of the side quest info there. That's great.
This is one of the side quests I did do, and I had a similar situation with the bighorner.
With the baby bighorner? You had trouble with her following you, or?
No, the bighorner would follow you anywhere, just like, Barbas would or anything like that. You do a quest animal, so it would just follow you around wherever.
And
like anywhere you wouldn't have to do its quest even, and it would. I could have just. I should have checked to see if it would follow you back to the mainland. Can you finish the?
Do it entire. Do the entire story.
You can't leave the.
No, you can't till you're done.
So I wonder if I hadn't done that quest, if it would still be active when I come back to try it then, and then take the
I don't
big
believe it
Hoarder with
would.
me. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't.
Wouldn't be active anymore. Okay.
And if you had him following you at the very end when you were supposed to, join Joshua Graham, I don't think that would work either.
Joshua would just turned and shot the baby then. Josh,
oh no! But
no.
Yeah, but so you went back by the mother, and the mother didn't acknowledge the baby was there, because normally the baby stops following 2 or 3 times while you're walking. You got to give it more banana yucca.
And banana yucca.
Is that what it is? Yucca?
I have no idea. I have no idea how it's pronounced. I could look it up, see if it's a real plant too. It would be some sort of
yucca is.
Yeah.
And this is just a banana variety.
Oh, is it not banana yucca? I don't know. Gerber banana yucca. My
there you
favorite
go.
flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, yucca is something completely different.
Yeah.
I was going to say he also talked about he did the Shay quest too. In fact, all 3 of our feedback so far, they did the Yao Guai
Ghost
Shay
Bear
Vision Quest deal. And, Rando with chat mentioned that he died a lot too. Like, I remember it being really tough, even though we didn't do it this time. I do remember them being very tough, and having that little duplication ability because, you're all high and you see like 3 of her, like a bunch of her, is difficult. We didn't mention another thing too. When you go up there, part of the lore behind this story is there are a bunch of Vault 22 survivors there. That's the reason for why you find some of the man-eating plants, some of the Vault 22 plants and the mantises, is because some of them escaped with there. And I think like 100 or so, 118 Vault 22 people did escape and set up camp there. And they're all part of the story of the survivalists, in that they were attacking some refugees from Mexico, and they were kind of violent, and the survivalists tried to, chase them out. And eventually, they thought he was a ghost and left after over half of them died. It was quite a story. There's actually, that would be a fun terminal velocity. There is a holotape on it.
All right, thank you. Do you think Calm Horizons always has Nicky by his side when they're playing?
No, only some. I think only some. I think he said that, some games Nicky likes more than others. He hasn't been watching as much of the New Vegas, if I remember him saying that in Discord. But,
I mean, the game was probably made before he was born, so who can blame him, right?
There's that. Before we have the next feedback, I want to do a little random feedback. So
okay.
We have plenty of play-along participants who, aren't sending in audio feedback or, don't make it every week. We've got our friend Dawn is playing, AX4X Boost is playing, Cosmo's playing. Cosmo's done feedback a bit, but he in chat gave us a little update just a little while ago. Said, Sterling Thorn got more mods to fix the old mods. Yeah, he's been adding a lot of mods and playing, and then got distracted in missile silos hunting for higher level loot. Finally had to crawl back to town using a coyote pup as a container to hold everything. He filled a coyote pup and dragged it as a container to carry things. That's amazing. I love that. And he says, still trying to get up the courage to confront Betty. So he's been playing mods and going to the DLC and everything, but actually the story yet. But looking at his character now.
What is this coyote pup baggage thing? What? I
think he's pulling a Gary, right? I mean, not exactly, but where you use the body of something, you fill it with loot, and then you drag the item. So like the way Ray draped Gary over the chair when we were doing Alaska. In Fallout 3. I'm sorry, I'm going way back here. Back, but using
I do remember a body on the
chair
unit for something. You were storing something, right? Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
You use it to bring stuff back that you couldn't normally bring back.
Mm-hmm. But you can also, if you over cucumbered, you can technically fill a body with stuff and try to carry it. But it's a cumbersome task.
That's hilarious.
But I suppose it works. I said it does work. So yeah, he used a coyote pup to carry everything back from the mod he was in. But his character, Sterling Thorn, is currently level 35, and he has 160 hours in the game. I'm looking at his save file picture here. So he's put a lot of time in for not killing Betty yet. That's awesome.
Oh, you said Benny. I thought you said Betty, and I was like, what mod are you playing? Like, thought it was a TV show mod that someone had created. Has that started happening yet?
People are bringing TV show stuff into the game for sure. Some official mods and references, but I don't think we've got, we're not actually visiting Vault 33 yet.
We should. Someone hook that up. Actually, they're probably being discouraged because the real Bethesda wants it.
Well, and they have been, they've been adding the outfit, and there's been a lot of crossover stuff that they have added recently. So last thing on Matt's feedback, getting that Yao Guai gauntlet, the fact that all that work and it's not even better than what he had is funny, but have it. Hooray!
Ugh.
That's A lot of what we do. Bring our trophies back to our hotel room.
Do we at least have a mannequin or something to put it on? Is there a armor display or anything like that in New Vegas?
Not without mods that I know of.
Nothing?
I don't think even in your fancy suite with all the extras.
The presidential suite
mannequins.
doesn't have anything? Nothing?
No.
That wasn't really as much a thing back then. I mean, they did add them in Oblivion, but it is funny how much the engine changed between, Fallout 3 and New Vegas and then Skyrim. They added a whole lot, having multiple followers and all these various things. Like it was definitely a change.
Will a jump like that be able to happen in the future, or we just progress seems like it happens at a less of a drastic rate these days? You know what I mean?
I don't know, Ray. I would say, wouldn't you say that Skyrim to Fallout 4 and then Fallout 4 to Starfield were almost bigger jumps than even like Oblivion to Skyrim? At least as big.
Yeah. Well,
4 to,
it was,
to Starfield?
Oblivion to Skyrim was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
With image quality and all the texture and everything.
Yes. Oblivion unplayable, Skyrim perfect.
But I'm thinking like systems like adding the settlement system, like that's a huge leap that, we didn't have before. And, a lot of the animations and how detailed the companions got. And then obviously 76 was kind of in between step, but then you get to Starfield and there's they had to do so much, adding spaceflight, creating starships, that's a lot.
And I feel like they stepped back the, settlement, beacon recruit, and the follower settlers, that sort of thing. I was kind of expecting a similar system in Starfield as there was in Fallout 4, where you can establish a space camp and have a bunch of...
Yeah.
And I guess you can do that. It's just not how I expected
not the same.
it. Yeah, it's not the same.
A lot of people were disappointed by the outpost system. They definitely stepped it back compared to Fallout 4.
So you do get space flight and really cool stuff, but they take away from some of the other stuff that they had already built that were advancements last step. You know what I mean?
I think they added so much they had to keep things running smoothly and everything for release. But of course, modders are adding more of that in.
Yeah.
And you can still recruit people to put them at your outpost, but it's not quite the same.
It's just not quite the same. And I probably haven't given as much of a chance as I should. It's like, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, and go off and do something else.
It is pretty cool. My Lake Amada outpost next to New Atlantis. Not to go all Starfield during our New Vegas roundtable. Sorry, y'all. But I've got Lynn there. I've got Heller there. I've got a couple others. I don't remember everyone there, but I've got 4 people who live there. So, and you can recruit lots of extra characters and you don't have to have them all on your ship or with you. And so then you can send them back to your settlements or your outposts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there are mods that let you, do recruitment like you could in 4.
Can you imagine if Kingath got us a sim outpost like sim settlements?
Oh, yeah.
That would be amazing.
Sim outpost? Do it. Get on it. Come on.
Yeah.
Is it any harder?
$10.
Is it any harder to mod when things get more advanced or whatever? As things improve, does that make modding that much harder as well?
Some things are harder, some things are easier. There's no animation rigging in Starfield yet, which is kind of a big deal. With previous games, they've got the NIF skeleton stuff to be able to articulate the bodies and do custom animations. We don't have that at all in Starfield yet. And there are a few other things like that that just aren't in Starfield. But we've got lip sync and voiceover in Starfield in ways we didn't ever in the previous game. So, they're giving new things to take away others.
Yep.
Some things are definitely harder.
Give and take.
Yep. And it's also developing tools each time. Even though it's the same engine, things keep changing, bit by bit. And so they've got to make the tools to work with it. So where Starfield will be in a couple years compared to now is going to be leaps and bounds, most likely. And then we'll get Elder Scrolls 6 in a year or 2.
When do rumblings of Starfield 2 start happening? Is that still a decade away?
So I don't know there ever will be a Starfield 2. I mean, never say never.
Really?
But I do think Starfield is a one-off. I think Starfield's special. It has nothing to do with how successful it was.
Really? Okay.
It's going to be Starfield 2.0.
Oh, dear, yeah. Ray knows. Yeah. Starfield 2.0 is coming, Andrew.
I don't get it. What's that?
That's just the next big update. The next big update has been advertised. People talk about a line as Starfield 2.0, completely overhauling the game, which is not what's happening with the new update. There are a couple things coming most likely. We don't know. but we're assuming it's not going to be a full 2.0.
Yeah. No, it'll be a 1.1.
Exactly. Maybe a 1.3.
Yeah, I guess maybe so. Shattered Space would have been 1.1. So
there you go. Yeah, so maybe at least 1.2. Let's give him some credit. But we'll see. Excited no matter what. But yeah. Oh, and Elder Scrolls 6. That's where the focus is, right?
I thought it was Fallout 5.
No, it is not Fallout 5.
Damn it.
I know we're a Fallout show, but I'm sorry. That's not happening next.
Fallout 2 Remakester.
Fallout 3 Remakester? Then Elder Scrolls?
2, I said. 2. Come on. All right, let's duck in and see what Will has...
Cal sits alone at the table. Her sturdy caravan shotgun, the same one she woke up with in Doc Mitchell's house all those years ago, lies broken down on a towel in front of her. She works oil into a rag and runs it carefully along the metal, easing it into tight spaces. Slow, practiced. Rex sleeps in his favorite corner again. The kids race through the house, playing hide and seek. One of them screams. It's playful, innocent, but it pulls Cal somewhere else, to another time. Another child scream that wasn't playful. One she still loses sleep over. It started after they left Jacobstown. Rex had his new brain. Cass's burned caravan was finally being handled by the NCR. For the first time in a while, the Mojave didn't feel like it was pressing in. Cal listened to Cass's banner and watched Rex bounding ahead as they followed the radio broadcast toward Happy Trail's expedition. Just what Cal needed. And then they found a place called the Thorn, buried beneath West Side in the sewers of outer New Vegas. Curiosity pulled them in. The woman in charge, Red Lucy, explained what the Thorn was meant to be.
The clamor of our bloodthirsty crowds reaches every corner of the wasteland. This is the Thorn. Here's where the strong make a name for themselves, and the weak are fed to the jaws of hell.
Cal looked down at the animal cages in the fighting arena and the blood-stained floor. Suffering turned into spectacle, and felt sick. Rex sensed a shift in Cal and gave a low growl. Cal didn't say anything. She just left. Cass didn't argue, and they moved on. But she didn't forget. The wrongness festered, buried beneath her search for something normal in the Mojave. And when they finally reached Happy Trails, it was just as promised.
Howdy, friend. Heard my little broadcast, did you? The job is simple. Help us get this caravan into Zion and find New Canaan.
Jed explained the route, the risks, the isolation. Zion Canyon, cut off from the world.
That's why I wanted someone with a Pip-Boy on the caravan.
He went on about the danger and the possibility. Cass and Cal were fine with danger, as Cass liked to say.
Don't mind trailblazing as long as we got the ammo. And whiskey.
It was honest work, free from politics, so they agreed, and Jed hesitated. Cal felt it before he spoke.
We only got room for one more on this expedition. You'll have to leave your friends behind.
Her stomach dropped. Since waking up alone and scared in Goodsprings, Cass and Rex were the only constants the Mojave had given her. She wouldn't leave them, couldn't leave them. If Happy Trails couldn't see the value of Cass's years of caravan experience, or a dog that could smell danger before it arrived, maybe they deserved to fail. They mustn't need her Pip-Boy that badly then. She walked away. Cal was disheartened and angry. Not just at Happy Trails, but at the Mojave. All she wanted was something normal, something honest. She wanted the Mojave to be a better place. Within that frustration, something pressed, a thorn she could remove. She made a rash decision. Ultimately, a bad one. Take down the thorn. She turned toward West Side. Red Lucy was glad to see Cal back.
Welcome back, stranger.
Cal asked questions and listened, telling herself that understanding how the thorn worked was the first step. When a fight played out in the arena, she hid her disgust.
Our creatures come from the farthest reaches of the wasteland. The thorn takes care of them until the time to spill their blood comes.
To earn her trust while waiting for opportunity, Cal went on a series of missions to find eggs from increasingly dangerous wasteland creatures. The tasks were simple enough on the surface, life-threatening notwithstanding, but other experiences along the way gnawed at her sanity. The first was when violence found them in fiend territory.
Make sure you have a backup weapon. Fiends don't go down easy.
There seemed to be no shortage of them, perhaps the toxic waste seen all around the area, rotting their brains. But then it happened. A muzzle flash. Not hers or Cass's. Another, off to the side. Cal glanced toward the shot. There was no one there. Yet a fiend had fallen all the same. Had she imagined it? Cal didn't say anything. Then it was Bootjack Cavern, a place that broke her heart. It was occupied by Rangers that had deserted. They still hated the Legion, but felt betrayed by the NCR for putting them on the front lines. Cal agreed it was a waste of their talent, but Rangers were supposed to be people of honor. Now, here they were, trying to kill her. She wondered, again, why the Mojave kept letting her down. She hoped when they awoke after the beanbag blast from her shotgun, they would see the mercy she had showed and remember who they were fighting for. Near the Bloodborne Caves, Cal spotted one of the rockets from the RepCon test site. It had crashed into the side of the mountain. A few of Jason Bright's followers, still in their spacesuits, wandered aimlessly below.
Horrible.
Cal hoped it was only the one rocket that had malfunctioned, and the rest were still happily continuing their journey, assuming the Bloodborne Cave wasn't actually the Great Beyond. Cal pushed through it, and Red Lucy sent her on the most dangerous quest of all.
I've decided to grant you the opportunity to earn the greatest honor the Thorn could ever expect. Deathclaws are our most feared contenders. I want you to be the one to deliver the sacred eggs to me.
Cass, Rex, and Cal barely escaped Deadwind Cavern with their lives. They had the Deathclaw eggs, but it had happened again. Another flash. This time it wasn't just a muzzle flash, it was a man wearing a trench coat and fedora. Again, the image had gone as quickly as it appeared. It tickled a memory, though. Someone from her past she couldn't remember? She was starting to doubt her sanity. Cass didn't seem to notice, so she didn't bring it up, guessing what Cass might say.
Are you drunk?
Back at the Thorn, Red Lucy was thrilled.
You've indeed become the greatest hunter the Thorn has ever seen. You've earned the honor of being part of this sacred ground.
Cal had found her way inside. She could move freely now to search for vulnerabilities. But the opportunity came quicker than she had hoped.
Before death takes us, I would know you deeper. Come with me, my hunter.
As Lucy lay sound asleep, Cal searched the terminal on her desk. And there it was. She didn't hesitate. She entered the command, shutting down power to the cages. A moment she could never take back, one that would haunt her the rest of her life. The cages opened. Deathclaws, Night Stalkers, Rad Scorpions, Giant Mantis, Cazadors, and more. Chaos tore through the Thorn. The regret hit her. This isn't what she wanted. This was just more blood and violence, this time on her hands. And it got worse. A child. Her heart stopped when she saw her. A Deathclaw barreling down on a small girl. Cal stepped in front, blasting her shotgun. The creature fell and the girl ran, but Cal couldn't stop shaking. Why were children here? Were there others? As she exited the sewers to the safety of Westside, that thought hurt her more than any creature or bullet ever could. She stood still, the Thorn silent below her. The screams still echoed in her mind. She had tried to right a wrong and instead made it worse. The Mojave kept punishing her. She had gone to the Happy Trails expedition seeking normalcy, but the cost was too high. She was at a breaking point, needing direction, a way to help. She thought of the NCR Rangers, not the misguided ones from Bootjack Cavern, but those doing real work. The NCR was flawed as well, she knew that, but flawed by bureaucracy, not cruelty. Maybe it was time to finally answer one of those summons and meet with the NCR. As these thoughts stirred, Cass called for her. Cal?
Grandma?
Cal?
Grandma? Grandma! Are you okay?
Oh, yes. Sorry, dear. My mind was just somewhere else.
And Will continues his feedback with an addendum. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but I forgot to add in my email for my feedback submission that the choice Cal takes to release all the creatures in the Thorn is from a mod in my collection that restores and completes cut content that Obsidian didn't have time to finish. Just sharing in case it confuses anyone. So tell me about the Thorn. What the hell is the Thorn?
That is
it's just an arena. Yeah, arena fighting.
Where?
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's just south of West Side.
Oh, that's not
it's
the pit at the Legion. Okay, somewhere else.
Yeah, it's kind of part of West Side. It's considered part of West Side, but it's technically outside the gate just a little bit.
And it's,
big
it's
arrow
just a fighting,
pointing on a manhole cover.
Just a fighting
at
pit.
The Thorn. Yeah, but a lot of people there, a lot of action there. That's where you meet Red Lucy and you get the dinner bell shotgun we were talking about. And the whole quest line there, you're gathering eggs.
Dinner bell, right.
To get, more creatures to fight and such, and then doing stuff yourself and impressing Lucy. And ultimately, spending time with Lucy, getting to know her and getting the dinner bell. So
shotgun, okay.
But there is a terminal in her room, And there was originally supposed to be a quest where you could release all the creatures, unlock the cages, release the creatures, and do a whole quest line with it. So Will mentioned that he has a mod that unlocks the content and the ability to do that, but I don't think they did the full quest line. It sounds like whoever implemented it, either they added extra, because I don't think there's no way Bethesda would have put kids down there in the Thorn when this was happening. I don't
Children.
think. I don't think. But so either they added extra or it's just because it was never supposed to happen. It wasn't something they were thinking about ahead. But now he did this. Part of the reason that, because it doesn't seem a character for Cass as much, Cass being a bit, of a heroic do-gooder in a lot of ways. And her idea, take down the Thorn, she feels like it's not good for society. It's part of what's wrong with the Mojave. He says that she got there in the first place because of looking into going with Happy Trails Caravan Company and Cass not being able to go. What was the reason why he got kicked off on this instead of doing...
He wasn't allowed to take Cass with him to Utah, so he was like, let's not go.
Yeah. He was disheartened about it.
He couldn't give up his puppy or his follower. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense. Don't blame him. And so, he turned to the Thorn and because of where her headspace was. What's interesting about that is now I think he did this as motivation for his character to explain why she would leave. Because now after this happening, she has to get away and clear her head. So I think she's going to join the Happy Trails Caravan Company now on her own. I think that's the plan. We'll find out, though.
Ooh. How does he put this together? I assume he is playing on PC and recording audio as it just rolls recording as he plays and then pulls out excerpts from the conversations, etc.
Yep.
Is that how that happens?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Oh, I thought it was cool, the Mysterious Stranger reference.
Oh,
yeah. Gun out of nowhere sound. That's well done. He did not have any words of the day this week. He forgot to add in words of the day, which he's been doing each time for us to look for, but we're going to say festered.
Festered.
One of the words of the day.
Right.
It's a good one.
There you go. Uncle Festered, you guys. Will's feedback, always amazing. Looking forward to next week, of course. Let's see, coming up, we have Le Chevalier and Vanessa. Let's check in with the Shoveler.
Hi, this is John with my feedback for Butch Caldwell's quest in Honest Hearts, or for Honest Hearts. Before we send Butch to the Northern Passage, we pick up the long haul perk. It allows you to fast travel while being over encumbered. You need to have at least your level to be 12. You have to have at least a 6 endurance, and your barter needs to be at least 70. I wanted to get this because I keep getting over encumbered, picking up all the survival stuff for health. So anyway, Butch heads to the passage. He has over 70 survival, so he passes the 50 level survival check and is allowed to carry up to 100 pounds. He drops off everything up to that point into that case in the passage, and then they head out through the passage. And of course, everybody dies after they leave the southern passage, they're all being killed by the white legs. Butch has to use the service rifle here because the pistols just aren't enough. Even the mysterious handgun or mysterious magnum isn't fast enough or strong enough to take out the white legs that are all there. But anyway, we clean up the white legs that are left, and then we make it across the bridge, and then we accidentally follows chalk on the ridge, mostly because I, for some reason, looked away after the white leg was shooting from the ridge, and we didn't notice that Follows Chalk had taken out the guy, and I couldn't tell that was a different person. So I had to save scum and watch the caravan die again. We get across the bridge, and this time I don't have Butch shoot Follows Chalk. We talk to Follows Chalk, and he lets us know about a bighorn calf that needs to be found, or the bighorn are gonna probably get into the canyons and attack his people. So we get that taken care of, and then we go meet up with Graham. We get to watch him clean his guns over and over and over. He has an endless supply of guns there. But after watching him do that, he sends us out to get supplies for Daniel and the Sorrows. We pick up the compass, walkie-talkies, and the supplies for the medical kits. Butch is able to fix the compass without any parts. Can't remember what the skill check is on that. But we get that taken care of. Then we head out to find Daniel. And then when we meet up with Daniel, we lose Chalk and gain White Cloud. At this point, I realize or find out that all the gear that I had given Follows Chalk comes back to me, and I have to give it up to White Cloud, so I'm not over encumbered. After that, we head out to find the map to the grand staircase, and we also deal with the traps on the bridge that the White Legs were setting. White Cloud wants me to take care of that, either take out the White Legs or clear the traps so her people don't get hurt, or scouts. So we do that, and we also have to take care of the Yagoi. We do that by setting the explosives in the caves that the Yagoi are in, and then we detonate and close off the cave. So we get all that done, and then we head back to Daniel. At this point, we have to tell Daniel, or we don't have to, but I tell Daniel that he needs to have the Sorrows fight instead of flee. I just think in my opinion, it was the best way to do it. He doesn't like it, but that's what we do. So we lose our follower and gain all of our equipment back. This time we get Graham as a follower, but of course Graham decides that he doesn't want to carry our stuff. He doesn't even want to talk to us, and we're locked into the quest to find Salt Upon Wounds. He's over encumbered, our Butch is over encumbered, so now we have to do a slow walk to one of the campgrounds and stash all of his gear in one of the trailers, and one of the suitcases in a camper trailer. I have to do this twice because I forget to save, and of course that long walk to through the White Legs territory, Butch is killed a couple times. I do manage to save after the second time we do the slow walk and dump all our stuff. But yeah, we get through that. And then we, of course, get to the point where we lose Graham. And I get lost a couple times there trying to get through that canyon. And then finally we meet up with Graham and Salt Upon Wounds. We're not able to talk Graham out of killing Salt Upon Wounds, but somehow whatever happens, it allows Salt Upon Wounds to fight instead of just being executed. But Graham and Butch take care of him and his White Leg people. And then that ends the quest, or the Honest Hearts. So I did find in this one, I somehow found the riot gun, which is probably my favorite shotgun in the whole game. It gives you a faster reloading and then faster shots for the shotguns. But yeah, I'm finding out that fast shot perk, it does what it's supposed to do. It's 20% slower, or 20% chance you miss your shots, and sometimes you can be right up on the guy and you'll just miss every single shot in VATS. So that's working as advertised. So anyway, I want to say thanks again for letting me do these feedbacks, and I hope to see you on the Wasteland. Bye.
Thank you, Shoveler. Very nice. So what is this perk he was talking about that lets you miss up in VATS? What was I understand that's the drawback. What was the positive side of it?
I'm not sure. I didn't catch that, Andrew. I don't remember
like, holy shit.
The perk you're talking about.
That seems something I probably would avoid at all costs.
Absolutely.
I also had to talk about stashing stuff at like campgrounds around the area. I don't think I got that loaded down with stuff that I was...
Sounds like he was doing the classic thing we all do. Picking up everything, yeah. Yeah, there were a couple times it came up. So like he mentioned when he switched from Follows Chalk to Waking Cloud, which again, that's where the game forces you to change companions.
Yep. As
they do, and you have to have them, and all the stuff comes back to you. And he was cucumbered. Totally happens.
Yeah, they force it. It's like, here, take your satchel back. Oh, it's 800 pounds. Oof.
One thing that he mentioned early on in the feedback too, and the gun that he mentioned at the end, because I asked, it was the riot shotgun. He got the riot shotgun. I was wondering which gun. He said riot gun. I thought he said rat gun. And I'm like, but you already had that. So yeah, the riot shotgun. That's good if you like shotguns. But he had to switch to the service rifle from his previous weapons, that he was finding a lot of his weapons weren't doing enough damage in the area. And I'm totally with him. So you know how I'm energy weapons. A lot of the time, despite, my high VATs and AP and stuff, pew with my laser pistol was not enough. I had to switch to the plasma and use, heavier guns for some of these creatures because they were tanky.
We don't like tanky.
We don't like tanky. Nope.
Beautiful. John, you say thank you for letting you submit feedback, but we say no, thank you for taking the time to participate in the show, buddy.
For sure.
Yeah, GG's.
All right, let's see what our good buddy Van is getting into this week.
You probably think I've done a runner by now without making any effort to rescue your old plane from the lake. You're only half right. I've set some things in motion in Vegas that mean I need to clear my head and consider my options. So I've taken some work with the Happy Trails Caravan Company. It hasn't gone smoothly, and after an ambush I've ended up stranded in Zion. It's absolutely stunning here, unspoilt with endless clean, rad-free water. While here, I was approached by a scout called Follows Chalk. He took me back to his tribe's camp, and, as is par for the course these days, I found myself embroiled in local turmoil. The tribe are led by an outsider called Joshua Graham, a mass murderer for the Legion who, when he thought he himself was about to be killed on Caesar's orders, conveniently found religion, and don't we all know it? He chased me down halfway across the park one morning just to deliver one of his sermons. Graham is trying to use two of the local tribes, the Dead Horses and the Sorrows, to wipe out a third, the Whitelegs, who are backed by the Legion. There's another outsider, Daniel, who wants the tribes to leave Zion to maintain their peaceful existence. Neither Joshua nor Daniel care what the tribes themselves want. They speak of them as if they're helpless babies, rather than respecting the fact that they found a way to survive in this wilderness. I did a bit of scouting around with Follows Chalk to help drive back the Whitelegs. He expressed a wish to leave Zion to see the Mojave, but hearing him continually make confused references to the noble game of blackjack, it was obvious that he'd be a target for every scumbag out there the second he set foot in the place. I suggested to him that it might be better if he stayed to help his people, which I suppose makes me the same as Joshua and Daniel in thinking I know best. After spending some time with the Dead Horses, I journeyed further into Zion to meet up with the Sorrows tribe and one of their scouts, Waking Cloud. She'd lost her husband when Daniel had sent a small party to look for a new area to settle. Daniel was keeping this news from her so that she didn't become distracted, but I thought it only right that she knew the truth. Together, we also pushed the Whitelegs back from this area as well, and dealt with some problematic Yaogwai. Needless to say, after weakening the Whitelegs, both Joshua and Daniel thought the time had come to carry out their preferred course of action, fight or flight. As they were at an impasse, it fell to me to make the choice. Neither tribe seemed to have a preference, such is the degree to which they've been manipulated by these men of God. I chose flight, against my better judgment if I'm honest, but I felt if it went well, a fresh start might give both tribes the chance to choose their own direction, and if it went badly, they would at least begin to question the judgment of their self-proclaimed leaders. After some more skirmishes with the Whitelegs, I was able to lead the tribes to a tunnel marking the exit from Zion. It was there that I finally met the leader of the Whitelegs, Salt Upon Wounds, a perfect fit for the Legion by all accounts, with a love of violence for its own sake. Just as he opened his mouth to say something to me, I opened fire. I must learn to be less trigger-happy, although I don't think anything he said would have changed the outcome. Anyway, I hope things work out well for both tribes, especially the two scouts I worked with. I didn't really get to know any of the others. You probably wonder why I'm telling you all this. Well, one interesting thing that happened as I was travelling through Zion, I kept finding caves containing the diaries of one Randall Clark, a survivor of the bombs, who ultimately ended up living far longer than you or I are likely to do. He watched people come and go down the years, intervening from a distance to stop exploitation of one group by another. Unlike Joshua and Daniel, he didn't expect to be put on a pedestal for doing so. But what I discovered from his writings is that some of the tribes are themselves the descendants of people who left the vaults, just like you guys. I must admit, I thought you were making a mistake in keeping yourselves shut away up in Nellis, but I see now what a good plan it was. You've managed to preserve your independence and live life as you see fit. Anyway, enough with the introspection. I also found a neat rifle courtesy of the esteemed Mr. Clark, although I doubt it will tempt me away from my trusty hunting shotgun. And hides from the local green geckos have enabled me to upgrade my leather armour into a gecko-backed version. Plus, now that the white legs are dealt with, the Happy Trails caravans are making regular supply runs, so I can finally return to the Mojave better equipped for what's coming, like raising that bloody plane of yours from the lake. Yours, Sterling. So that's it. So I chose, as I said, the flight from leaving Zion option, which I think is definitely the worst option. I think I hit all the sort of optional side quests and optional objectives, and still the ending slides definitely suggest that not even Daniel is happy with where they end up. But last time I played through the game, I did the stay in Zion and fight option, and I needed the Steam achievement, so that was the driver behind that one. Anyway, take care, everyone. See you in the wasteland. Bye.
Oh my god, that's a totally different angle, Jess. It's storytelling via achievement needs.
Girl after my own heart. I mean, that's why I did Flight from Zion myself this time. Not because of the achievement, because I can't get the achievement on PC, on the
Cheaters.
Xbox. Right, but I hadn't done it, so, or if I had, it hadn't been a long time. But the one I usually do, of course, is staying and fighting. And I mean, honestly, it does feel like the better choice. Stuff in the ending slides, the resolution. I mean, just making a stand for the Soros, even if it does make some of them more warlike for a generation or two, that some of them got the taste for battle, thrill for battle, and took it too far. I still think it's the better choice for the region and for them. But she mentioned,
and I don't think there's any way to make Daniel happy.
Right, exactly what I was going to say. He is sad boy Daniel. He is an emo. He is the emo missionary of Zion, and that's just what he does. Yeah. He mopes.
And I'm not sure how she ended up with a different companion than everybody else, because she follows Chuck.
And I can tell that she comes from a society that is coming to terms with its relationship with the native cultures which it has interacted with, we shall say. I think she got some white guilt with the British Empire and how it's interacted with things, and that influences how she feels that we are interacting with the quote-unquote natives of the area, which she also said vault dwellers were part of that based on
and that
journal entries. Who was the journalist she was saying?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the old man in the
journals. There's an old man in the mountain journal she was talking about.
In the Morning Star cave.
Yeah, the survivalist.
Okay, the survivalist. All right. But I thought that she implied that even vault dwellers were, or originated these people who we call natives or whatever. But,
yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that is a huge part of Honest Hearts and the lore behind it. I mean, these tribes, which they call pretty much every group of people a tribe here in the game, like the Omertas and the chairmen and all that, they were considered tribes before, and the Raider gangs to refer to them as tribes. But in this case, it is specifically not, even though it brings up some Native American imagery. These aren't mostly Native Americans in there. And it was one of the unfortunate things. I think I talked about this with Josh Sawyer before, and I don't have his quote saved now that I had before. Actually, yes. Okay, I do still have this up. So there was some criticism about the fact that it was kind of a bit of the uneducated savage, apologies, but that was some of the complaints about the way that the DLC was put forth. But it was not supposed to be that. These were vault dwellers and people from all over coming together, and they formed a tribe, and they were, living off the land like this, sheltered, but it wasn't supposed to be specifically natives. But because of memory limitations, they only had so many skins, and the couple of skins they had these tattoos, and they were all darker skinned. It was suddenly like, we've got the white savior with, Joshua, Graham, and Daniel, and then they're all darker. It played into a lot of tropes that are, not
icky,
positive. Yeah. Yeah, so here's the actual quote from Josh Sawyer. I'll just read real quick. He says, "I understand why people see it that way, but how the DLC shipped was not how it was planned. In the first design docs for Honest Hearts, every tribe was supposed to have members from all of the Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas ethnic groups. However, there was a complicating factor. body art. The various tattoos and body paints needed to texture the bodies multiply the number of required textures. They couldn't simply be layered on, as they could in Fallout 4, but were entirely new body textures that dramatically increased the amount of texture memory being used. For that reason, each tribe wound up having only one body texture per sex. This compressed their ethnicities into homogenized blends, with the dead horses being a dark tan, sorrows a light tan, and white legs fairly pale. As a minor point, Daniel was specifically supposed to be, and was in fact for most of development, Asian. I don't know when or how he was switched to Caucasian, but that's how he shipped. So he doesn't even know how it happened because he was supposed to be an Asian character. And he says, it's frustrating, back to the quote, because those changes slot Joshua and Daniel as white guys among mostly brown folk when they weren't supposed to be white guys. And B, the tribes were specifically called out as ethnically and culturally mixed. So regarding the natives as aesthetic criticism, the patterns we use for them are not based on any current or historical Native American body art, as far as I know. And he goes on, but essentially he covered some of what I said. I was paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he talked about. But yeah, so it was very much supposed to not be that. And yet it was.
Isn't it sick when creators have great intentions and then it just gets away from them? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is not how it started out, how it ended up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the limitations of programming are inescapable.
Especially, I mean, even now, definitely, but especially back then. Especially when you're building for a console. But yes, I wasn't necessarily getting into that, but since we're talking Honest Hearts, and that is something that comes up around Honest Hearts a bit.
Yes, it does.
You mentioned it. Yeah. Because I totally get that.
Yeah. And I appreciate her viewpoint on the subject matter. So thank you very much, Vanessa.
Yeah. She also talks about the green gecko hides. Those are, good valuable, good trade, all that. And I like how she mentioned, speaking of semi-controversial topics, how Joshua conveniently found religion, which is something I wonder about. So,
Yeah, I like
obviously he was, raised, he was a new Canaanite, so he already had religion, but I have to wonder how he justified his actions under Caesar. I mean, we know that he likes the darker or the more violent biblical passages. So, I mean, and, there is plenty of that in the Bible. So maybe he just focused on that, but it is odd how he was able to justify all that killing, and then he also uses it when he becomes more of a nurturing father figure for the tribe.
Very
anyway,
cool. All right.
Conveniently found religion. I thought that was
Yeah, no, thought that was great.
funny turn of phrase, because some people do when near death.
Yeah,
they don't already have it, which he did.
Conveniently enough. All right, that is our feedback for this week. Thank you, everybody. If you'd like to participate in the feedback portion of our show, please send your 5-minute voice memo to the Fallout feed at gmail.com. We'd love to hear your stories. We're hopping back into, I assume, I haven't even looked at the schedule. We're hopping back into the main quest mainland, right? We're not.
Yeah. Boomer time.
Boomer. Oh, right. Yes, you mentioned that last week. Boomer time.
Which is also great. I like how Vanessa referenced that in the end of her feedback, too.
Yeah, she's writing the letter back to the... All right, you guys. Let's roll into some Iguana Bits, see what our news is this week.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your Iguana Bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
So the bits are a little thin this week. Little thin. Looking ahead on the calendar, guess what, y'all? Mothman is back. So snort yourself a big old nose full of moth dust and get to shooting. Good time. Speaking of, tearing down totems and such, there's a lot of that for Mothman Equinox as well.
Tearing down totems.
Yeah. Do you remember if either of you ended up unlocking all the books in the church from doing enough Mothman Equinox runs?
Zero clue. I doubt it.
Yeah. I haven't checked in a while. I'm probably there, but I haven't done an Equinox yet this time since it's been back, which has been, 3 days now. So I'm not sure where I'm at on that. Like, I should have hit it a long time ago, but I generally only do 2 to 5 Equinox runs each time the Equinox comes back. So last I knew, I was up to the last book. So I'll have to check. But I do enjoy it. I love emoting for Mothman, even if some people are puking for Mothman, which I'm not sure he appreciates, but apparently he still summons him.
He just likes that you're there and participating.
He does. But no, I really enjoy the Equinox. It's a good time. So I got a chicken on that. Then we've also this weekend got double score happening right now. If you want to get those ranks on the scoreboard, you're not on scorecation yet, it's double score weekend coming up. And then next week, we're going to start the Love Hurts mini season. So that'll be another one of these 2-week mini seasons with special awards and prizes leading up and actually past Valentine's Day. It should be from the 13th to 17th approximately.
Remember once there was a flower bouquet skin for a wrench or something that was really fun?
Yeah, that was great. The heart wrencher.
Yeah.
You can still get that skin in the wrench. Yeah, it's a pipe wrench skin. Yeah. Which it would be cool if the Love Hurts mini season brought back the heart wrencher or something like that.
Yeah, something thematic like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. A box of chocolates to act a grenade or something. Good time.
Box of chocolates you just poison your enemies with.
Explosive Mothman eggs.
Can of peanuts that it's really an explosive snake. Ah!
The worst trick.
It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
Chat just mentioning axolotls. If you haven't got your axolotl, you've got till Tuesday to do it, to get your axolotl of the month, which I think it was charcoal this month. They blend together. Some cute, adorable axolotls. I didn't get the axolotl in December. I think I missed it.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. It happens. I haven't played a whole lot of 76 aside from just doing the dailies occasionally for the last 2 months.
Do you ever cross shelter stuff in your calendar? Like, I know that they closed down the first season. Have they started a second shelter season yet? I don't know how.
No, not yet.
Because, like, these seasons, they shut it down and start the next one immediately. So I didn't know how they were going to do the shelter season.
I would have thought they would have with shelter, but maybe there's going to be a couple weeks in between. I didn't know that the last one had ended. When did it end?
I don't remember, but I a couple weeks ago when I finished, it was because it was going to be over in like 4 days or something. So I know like 2 weeks ago probably.
Yeah, so they haven't announced the next season yet. I mean, maybe it's going to come up after the show's done. In fact, that's a good segue into our next topic, Andrew. Well done.
Awesome.
So last episode of the show is coming up this Tuesday. And yes, the show is airing Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. They moved them earlier. They moved them earlier last week with a big surprise, which was awesome. And it's going to happen again this week. So you don't have to stay up past midnight. I mean, you still can. You can watch it again after midnight, but you don't have to.
They're moving it earlier, so it's going to be Monday at 3 now, right?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I wish. I mean, it's going to be tonight. It's going to be tonight. After we finish the show tonight. Just
That's a great idea. I think I'm 2 episodes behind now.
Yeah, I can't believe you're behind. Ray's caught up, and he's in California.
Well, he's there. He can look out the window and see, the on-ramp with the big gulper with a million fingers out of its mouth. How far is that location from your current place, Ray?
It's about an hour north.
So he's not that close, but be careful. There's gulpers in the area.
They migrate. You never know. Every lake could have a gulper.
You definitely got scorpions around there, right? Come on.
Lake lurks.
Oh. All right.
But we are hitting the show as the final episode is coming, and
countdown timer,
in conjunction with it, yes,
episode.
countdown timer. So
what the hell is this?
So y'all know there's a countdown timer on the website, and I've told you before that it's show related. It is not game related. It is not a remakester.
A remakester, Fallout 2.
No, it is not happening. But speculation, what is it for, right? So you guys had a couple of thoughts about what it might be. Andrew, what were you saying earlier?
I don't remember. What was I saying earlier?
You were saying that it could be for the reality show initially,
but there's no way they just announced casting for that a couple weeks ago, so they have to shoot it and edit it, and that takes fucking forever. Editing is what takes the longest part of making TV shows, I think.
They could possibly do a promo and such, but yeah, the casting is open until the 15th, so it's probably not that.
And they already announced
the
show.
Script is already done.
Yeah, exactly. They could have some of the sets or, some kind of promo for it. So it could be that. It could be behind the scenes stuff from other stuff that happened in the season. So far, the map has opened locations. And when you get open and take a look at the locations, you get lore of the area. You get some info from Victor and such about the locations. It's a fun little 3D interactive thing. So one thing that it could be, or most likely is actually, is opening up the last location being the Lucky 38. And the reason I say that is because someone on Reddit got some of the HTML code and accelerated it. and, hadn't done it. And he found that when it accelerated to the end, it showed location 4 with the Lucky 38 tower. And if you click into it and look at some of the assets, you can see inside the Lucky 38 looking over New Vegas and some of that. And then he also found links to images of sandy dunes and such. So most likely it's just going to be more info about the making of up to that point, some lore about the actual strip, most likely. And I'm guessing something, a teaser for next season, right? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's probably behind the scenes. Something I've noticed that a lot of production companies do is they have their, popular shows, but then as they first notice it's winding down, they're like, oh God, we got to make a making of for the last season and put it out. Like Game of Thrones did it, Sopranos did it. There's all these like the making of, but they always wait until the last season before they do it. And I was like, why don't you just do it for the whole goddamn series? Have behind the scenes cameras rolling the whole time so you can have your, like people who like that shit
People
would love to
love
watch
that.
that shit,
Mhm.
And so maybe they got a little wise and they did it for season 1 and they're releasing that upon, season 1 and 2, like making of documentary or something. I don't know. That'd be fun.
That would be great.
But I
So,
can't think
lore-
of anything that is worth the hype of a countdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
but you look
finally
at what's-
releasing the 100 gigabyte mod limit.
Again, show related, not game related, but that would be awesome. That would be
And
that
this
would be
it's
something.
specifically on the TV show's website, not the video game. So it's obviously
It's
something
gonna be
with
more
the
of what's
show.
already there.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of what's already there. We've got, lore
Yeah.
dumps, locations,
It's-
a little bit of intro, a little bit behind the scenes. That's what's going to be more of that.
Yeah, do not expect a lot because you will be disappointed by this countdown. I guarantee you. Like it's, ugh. It's a
said-
little cringy, right? Little cringe.
I'm excited for the ending because there are so many loose threads in the series, even behind. There's so many loose threads. They're not going to be able to wrap them all up. So there's going to be, if not a cliffhanger, there'll be a cool hint to next season, I'm sure. The same way that we got at the end of season 1, we got, Hank in the power armor and we got the New Vegas reveal. Like that was huge, right? So
Uh-huh.
it could be the next reveal, whether it's Capital Waste, which I don't think they're going all the east yet, but who knows?
But why
Who
would they
knows
do
how
a
they'll try to
countdown for?
work
They
that
didn't
in.
do a countdown for the Hank reveal. That's just weird. Maybe. Ooh. This would be exciting. Maybe it is like just a side story spinoff, like a short mini series type thing. I would love to see what is his character referred to? Not the witch doctor. What's the traveling pharmacist guy who turned Thaddeus into whatever monster he's turning into?
The chicken curious salesman,
Yes. Yes. The chicken.
aka the chicken.
What is his name? The weird doctor guy.
He doesn't have a name.
He doesn't have a
No.
name.
They call him the snake oil salesman.
Snake oil salesman. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you meant his name.
So
name.
maybe just like a fun side. Like I would love that. Like the story of the snake oil salesman, and just like a little 4-episode mini series.
He's done
or something.
so much fun stuff. The fake talk show.
The talk show is great. It's totally behind two ferns or whatever that's called. Yeah.
Totally between two ferns. Yeah. It
Between
really
two
is.
ferns. Yes.
That's been fun. He's a fun character. Yeah. So maybe
Yeah,
it's
so
just
you guys
John
are
Daly.
still behind.
Uh-oh, he's dead.
Oh.
Fuck.
Uh-oh. Did his head explode finally? Oh, sorry. No spoilers. We're not talking.
No. Shh. Okay. God damn it, Ray. Now I'm worried. Now I gotta go watch the show.
I'm 1 episode behind, and Andrew is 2
I
episodes
might be
behind.
2. I know I'm definitely 1, maybe 2.
We're so bad. But, we're enjoying stretching it out.
Yeah, it's like I don't want it to end. It's like at first I was pissed that they don't drop all the episodes at once, but then I don't want to watch them because they're gonna be gone when you finish them. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta relish it a little bit, and mustard it too. Oh.
So we will see soon enough. We only have 4 more days, and we will get the end. And I will definitely binge the last episodes. I'm not going to wait to watch the last one, but there's, just the enjoyment of watching a couple episodes together. Because there's a part of me, and I'm sure some of you feel the same, where waiting a week between has been mildly torturous.
Yes,
And-
always is.
It's fun to speculate and it's fun to talk with friends, but there's also but I need to know what else. So I'm putting it off.
Yeah, we should live watch party the last episode. That'd be fun. And then the countdown timer will end, and we'll all know.
We'll all know. We can be underwhelmed together.
We can all be like, huh, okay, great.
Nothing quite as invigorating as a group underwhelmment.
It's like, whoa, all right.
It's whatever it is actually going to be cool. We're joking here because whatever it is will be cool. It just won't be as cool as
they want it to
which
be.
is not going to be.
Yeah.
Right. People are always overhyped. But speaking of things that are not quite okay, this is a weird one because next up on the bits, I have something that is really cool, but it has an issue again. Like, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of downside. So Fallout 76, Bethesda released a Fallout 76 Mojave bundle.
Oh.
So as you know, with each major expansion, they tend to do a bundle. They've done it for Ohio. They did it for Ohio. They did it for Steel Dawn. They did it for just all of them along the way, which is great because you get the content free for the game itself. But if you want to support it, like buying an expansion, you could pick up the bundle to go with, and it's come with some really cool stuff. Well, the Mojave bundle is just in conjunction with TV show. So it's not in conjunction, with an expansion release specifically. It's for the TV show, which is a little bit different. And it's also $30 again, $29.99, which for skins and such, it's a little pricey. Now they've all been that, or the majority of them have been that, and it'll go on sale soon enough. So do I think it's overpriced? Yeah. But do I think it's cool? Hell yeah. There's some awesome stuff in this. So you get this NCR power armor, which you see in the show. You get Leggett Lanius's armor, which is really killer looking. You get a new Super Sledge skin. You get some other cool Lanius stuff. You get a new name tag, suffix, and prefix, Ad Victoriam and Tribune. You get the Welcome to Las Vegas sign and an NCR flag and all kinds of cool stuff. And yes, I have seen it because, full disclosure, Bethesda did give me a code for the set. So I could see it and take a look. And so thank you very much for that, Bethesda. Appreciate it. And it's really cool. But were I to buy it, I would have waited, even though I love it, because 30 is a lot. But I feel that way about the pricing on a number of things recently. And a lot of these bundles, it's one thing, if you really want the stuff, it can be worth it, especially for camp building. And you want to support the game that you play a lot of and love. But just like with the Anniversary Edition, how we should have gotten all of the Creation Club content and the DLCs for 20, this should be 20 as well. They're just, and maybe we're old. Well, I should speak for myself. Maybe I'm old. And
pardon me.
Back in my day, I think things should only be like $10 and it's just inflation. But damn.
Yeah. Well, and it's the typical practice. Once you get people used to, $20, now it's time to start, pushing, the envelope a little bit, see if they'll bite at 30.
Will ya? And we do, because we're suckers. And then Pip Boys that were $199 are now $299, and we're suckers.
Yep.
I'm feeling
classic.
It. Yeah, it's winter. Furnace bills are coming in. Things are expensive, inflation, and just seeing something like this in the store, I love it. I will tell you, this is one of the coolest bundles they've done as far as the looks of it. The items look great, but I have trouble recommending it at 30. So give it a couple months, and it'll be less.
I don't buy new games frequently, but we did just get the Switch 2, so we're buying new games for that. They are fucking $70-$80 a pop. Now, our Xbox and PlayStation games also, have they made that jump? Because I remember them being in the 55 to 60 ballpark still. Have they jumped to 70 to 80 now too?
For what? The games themselves?
Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 modern era.
What's
whatever.
Interesting is we jumped 70 as the base price for brand new AAA games like 2 years ago. But we've also gotten looser about it because a lot of indie games sell for less. And so now there are games launching that are great, games, full-length games that are, 40 or 50. You have like Expedition 33, which game of the year all over the place. That launched at $49.99, I believe, for that. So it's kind of an issue. Another thing, and Lee mentions this, so thank you for mentioning Lee. I hadn't mentioned it yet, is that the Sledgehammer also has a 4-star effect on it, which is in a way makes it a little bit not necessarily pay to win. Like I think that's a major exaggeration, but you're getting an in-game benefit from a weapon that you would have to grind for otherwise. Exactly. He's right on with that. It's an unusual thing. And, most of the time it is just skins. And again, this is mostly just skins. But if you like super sledges, you can get a 4-star for money.
What was Kameo's character's name? Do you remember? I don't remember.
How am I having a moment? Paladin Hot Dog.
Do we see Paladin Hot Dog in the... Anywhere? Do we get
on the countdown timer?
Paladin Hot Dog! Woohoo! How about the Ghoul's Blunderbuss, stuff like that? Do we have that, his gun and all that in that
We've got
skin
Dom
pack you were
Pedro.
talking about?
Yeah, no.
Don
And
Pedro?
we actually got
Is that its name?
Yeah, Dom Pedro. Yeah, and we actually got that with the game free. I mean, there's plenty of great free content that came with Ohio. I mean, everything we got there can be earned and all that. So yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff.
They released the show stuff with Ohio? The Ohio
some of
release?
It.
Okay.
We got some stuff with the season. And yeah, we did get, because we got the Ghoul in the update, Burning Spring. Sorry, I call it Ohio, but Burning Spring.
Yeah,
we got the Ghoul. So.
Why Ohio? We should have done like a vacation to Vegas or something. You know what I mean?
That's what I expected ahead of time. When I had heard substantiated rumors from people that the TV show, would be linked to the content, I honestly thought it was going to be an expedition to the New Vegas area or the Mojave. I was surprised it wasn't.
That would have made sense.
But they brought the Mojave to us because Burning Springs is more arid. It has that, Fallout 3 New Vegas feel to it a bit. They a nice mix. And having the Ghoul there, that really worked.
I haven't done Ohio at all yet. Was it destroyed by a bomb or environmental disaster, something?
Environmental, chemical, as a combination of things. Yep. Yeah, Rando says people want everything for free and remastered now. Exactly. They want an Oompa Loompa now.
I want an Oompa now! Can it, you nit!
Now, Daddy.
Speaking of the Dom Pedro, though, that is actually a cool thing to mention because they are releasing some new mods and barrels for it, too. Coming up with, I believe it's with the next update. Hold on, I'm just looking this up.
I'm not a weapon guy. Is this Dom Pedro thing a real thing, or what's the story with that? Is it an actual?
It seems to me that when we first meet the Ghoul in the graveyard,
is that the grave name?
The person that he had worked for
is named Dom Pedro. Okay,
yep.
And so he named his weapon in ironic honor of that or something?
I think he got it from...
he took it.
It might have been from him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was being kept there and, kept in
alive.
torpor.
Yeah,
and, right, and woken as needed and used for things. But he got the gun from the location. But yeah, so the stuff coming out, we're getting rifle stock mods and scopes. It's going to be during that mini season I mentioned, Love Hurts. Some of the rewards are Dom Pedro stock mods and scopes and such. So you can turn the Dom Pedro into a rifle, which, if you were playing, you'd enjoy that. Much better for stealth and long distance shooting. Yeah, it's a hand cannon, exactly.
Slip your mind? Did you forget that someone was in there with a goddamn hand cannon?
You see the size of that gun he fired at us? It was bigger than him.
So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, just the update next week. That leads us into that. So looking ahead, there's not a whole lot known about the update coming up, but essentially, I think I mentioned last week that they are working to just fix a number of things that have gone wrong. The last 2 updates, especially the last one, the patch, more things went wrong than usual. And build menu issues, camp placement issues, the new category in the Pip-Boy, that's a huge one because people might not be major camp builders, but everybody has to use their Pip-Boy for inventory and organizing. And the fact that the new is not registering everything and not sorting properly, that's kind of funky.
Weird.
But yeah, and we're getting a 4-star legendary mod called Charged coming to the raid. It's going to be for melee. We've got the Dom Pedro extra stuff. They're going to fix cryo status. They're going to fix some issues with gold bullion. A lot of the items that aren't appearing are because of gold bullion. So there's a bit coming. They updated us on Reddit about it and, of course, on the website. Speaking of Reddit, since we don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight, I was just scrolling, and it's fun. There are a couple of fun things.
Scrolling is fun. You're right.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So in the world of 76 News, if you didn't know, the whole goal disguise mechanic, that actually broke too. So for the last little while, people have been able to go into Crater and Atlas and stuff without having to put on their goal disguise, which was great for ghouls. But guess what? They're fixing it. So you're going to have to wear a disguise again.
Bums. Don't make that annoying. Come on.
Yeah, that'll be good. Let me see. Oh, that's all I've got. I don't have any other bits, really. It was kind of a lean week or two.
Lean week. All right, so we can play a quick game here. So let's go ahead and roll into some game time.
What time is it? Game time! Boom!
All right, so I took your advice, Jess, and we're doing the same exact game as last week, except for now we're going to do it, which is higher, right?
High or low? Yeah, doing it the Will way. High or low? Love it.
All right, so let's. We'll just bounce back and forth. We'll go, and I'll say our first. So I have to give you the first one because there's no way you can guess high or low before that. And I'll say, hey Ray. First we have Defender. Is Protector higher or lower than Defender? And they mean the same fucking thing, don't they? Defender and Protector? Aren't those synonyms? It is higher. Good job, Ray. Jess, is Sentinel higher or lower than Protector?
So you're using ones we just did last week even to try to make it easier on us. But guess what? It's been a week.
You guys have no idea. I knew you wouldn't have any idea. Is Sentinel higher or lower than Protector?
So Sentinel, I believe, is higher than Protector. I feel like Protector was higher than I expected, but we're going to say Sentinel's higher.
It is not.
No, it is not.
Ray, Ranger of the Wastes, higher or lower than Sentinel?
Higher.
Higher, correct. Jess, Desert Avenger, higher or lower than Ranger of the Wastes?
I think Desert Avenger was near the top, so we're going to say higher.
Higher is correct. Good
Which,
job.
again, Ranger of the Waste, that sounds like, the peak.
It does.
Sounds like Big Boy.
Yep.
But
does sound like the top one. Let's see. We just did Desert Avenger. So, Ray, Martyr, is that higher or lower? Martyr.
Martyr was one of the first ones. So I'll say lower.
Lower is correct. All right, Jess. Samaritan. Is Samaritan higher or lower than Martyr?
I think, wasn't that the first one that we get just for, walking out the door and being nice to people? So I'm going to say that's lower. Yeah.
It is the lowest. Good job.
Yes. Okay.
So higher.
We do remember
higher,
some.
Ray. Good job. And that's the one I can't pronounce. Exemplar.
Thanks, Templar.
So, Jess, higher or lower than Exemplar? Dignitary. Higher or lower?
If Exemplar was one of the higher ones, we're going to say Dignitary is lower.
Very good. Good job. And Ray, to wrap us up, Peacekeeper, higher or lower than Dignitary? Peacekeeper.
I think we've done all the lower ones now.
Feels like it.
So I'll say higher.
Higher by one. Good job, you guys. I think you only missed one through there. Good job, you guys.
After
Wonderful
last week,
job.
we deserve clapping for that.
Yeah,
well done. Well done.
All right, I ran you
this
guys
made
through
it
the ringer
much more
twice.
manageable,
All
especially doing the same damn list.
I knew that might help. It was sort of an apology letter for last week.
You didn't think we'd remember, but
game time.
we have pretty good recall.
Good job, you guys. All right, that was game time for this week. What else do we have on the list? Probably just some shouts, it looks like. Is there anything you guys would like to bring up before we do some shouts and sign off for the evening?
Shout out to Jerry again. Big Arsenal fan, our friend Jerry. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. He roots for Chelsea, and he was teasing me earlier, so I had to get him back. But no. So, yeah, shout out to Jerry again for doing the Where Am I's. They have been awesome. He's been doing them most nights in the Discord and the Fallout channel, just a location from Fallout 4. And not just shout out to Jerry, but shout out to our listeners and people active in the Discord, because people are getting them usually within an hour, sometimes quicker, like the first couple of guesses. So, doing great, y'all.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Jerry. Thank you for those fun location quizzes. Those are great. Has he all been just been doing Fallout 4? Or Or has he branched out to other locations?
It's pretty much
just
been
doing
all
4.
4.
Just 4?
Yeah, because I think that's what he's playing right now.
Yeah, I assumed that's what he was running through.
Yeah,
Do you know
down.
why he started playing 4 again? Just randomly, or did he say something inspired him or anything?
I imagine the TV show, same as all of us. And yeah, we're doing New Vegas, but because he was doing Skyrim Supermod, and keep in mind, so he's got a really sweet computer right now, and he's been upgrading it. And like all you fancy people, like Will and Ray and Jerry with new upgraded computers, you just gotta, try
Fancy
the new mod
folks.
stuff. Yeah. There's actually, we're past the bits, but shout out to a new mod. Juice had actually just did a video on this. It's a new mod collection called Lore Out, which is a collaboration between the guy that did the original Wasteland collection and the guy that did the, what is it called? Lore Rim. So they put them together and called it Lore Out. But it looks like a really good mod.
Yeah, some cool stuff in that with the completely changing the perk system.
Yeah, major changes.
Adding skills and traits and all that good stuff.
Right, at perk skills and traits, our favorite game you can play if you play that.
Coming up next week.
But no, everything is different. Like it's one of those full overhauls, which like Nolvis, like you're doing for Skyrim. And some of the other ones they can add, we talked about how like story wealth for Fallout 4 is almost, what did you say, Ray? There's a new quest around every corner. You just stumble on a new quest every time you move.
Oh, yeah, every time you turn around.
So this doesn't quite have that issue, but there's still lots of new stuff added. Far from vanilla. Fun to play. Now that I've been playing New Vegas with a bunch of mods, it does make a girl want to like mod everything. Again.
Yeah, it's a drug.
More than we can with Creation Club. I mean, we already do with Creation Club on Xbox, but it's certainly not as full-featured. And collections are so simple. Or Wabbajack, in this case, for you guys.
Yeah, and the well-curated ones make life just so easy.
More mods. Mod the mods. Exactly. There was recently an interview with Dean from Fallout London, talking about how one thing they had hoped was that more people would create mods for their mod, like with the Fallout London full overhaul. The people would then, play it as a game and mod it as well. There's been less uptake on that than he had hoped, he mentioned. I mean, there are definitely some, but a lot of them are either Fallout 4 mods that can be adjusted for it or just, small things. But I think that's because it can be more difficult to mod a mod, and think of it as a full game.
Ray, Joe, upload the Fallout feed flag into their mod database. Yeah, can you build it? Can you build it in Fallout London?
No, because I actually don't have the mod anymore.
He doesn't.
Oh no!
He lost the masters.
The only copy I have is the one that's uploaded to Bethesda.
Oh, that's great. As long as we can keep downloading it. So, how did you lose it? Did that computer get blanked or something, or what?
Yeah, just a problem with the hard drive that it was on. Yeah.
So you have another shout on here, Andrew.
Yes, I saw. We were talking about weather troubles earlier, and I just saw that Angel still later, like a week later, is still having trouble getting in and out of her freaking driveway in Oklahoma. So it's just like, good Lord, sorry, Angel, but
those ice storms.
God damn.
Yeah, winter blows.
There's over an inch of ice some places, like an inch of ice.
In places that can't handle that. You know
right.
what I mean? No one, nowhere can handle an inch of
ice.
No. But seriously, some places are even less. Just the facilities and the infrastructure to distribute, salt and sand, at least to get some grip on that sort of stuff,
Right. Yeah. I mean, the thing about ice is when it gets cold enough, ice stops being slippery. But in the areas that got it, the other places that are in the 20s, not warm enough to melt, but not cold enough to stop being quite so slippery.
So good luck, Angel. Hope you get out. And the last thing I wanted to shout was I just saw some sad news before the show started that one of my favorite actresses of the 80s and 90s, Catherine O'Hara, has passed away. And I didn't see any cause of death or anything, but that really surprised me because I feel like I've seen her be vibrant and everything recently. So I didn't know if it was sudden or unexpected or anything. I don't really know anything about it, but just a hearty farewell to Catherine O'Hara, one of the fucking legends of our time. And just she's incredible. So shocking loss.
She was only in her early 70s too, but I think
Yeah, I don't know.
she had a congenital condition, and it might be related to that heart condition, but not sure on all the details. But she was in so much, right?
Everything, yeah. So much. But, I guess her big two should get recognized for Beetlejuice and Home Alone, I guess, probably are her two biggest. But, she was in SCTV or SC, Second City with John Candy and all those guys, and growing, Eugene Levy. And fucking Schitt's Creek was fucking one of the best shows I've seen in the last.
That
show.
Oh,
it's so fucking great. So, she will definitely be missed. And Where Am I's continued. What is that, Jess?
That was Jerry. We just shouted him out.
The Where Am I? Okay, yes. All right, you guys. So I think that's all I had for this week. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to bring up on our way out the door?
Good to go.
No.
All righty, then. In that case, you can find Ray and all of his projects, including a Skyrimatic podcast and the Butcher Baker Candlemaker in Space. You can find that at Ray LB and at BBCISSS and at Skyrim Addict. Ray, thank you so much for hopping on.
Good times.
Jess and all of her many projects can be found at Sleep is 4T. And can we find links for the StarCon presentation and stuff?
Yeah, we put it in the show notes last week,
Great.
so we can just copy those over again. It's star-con2026.com.
Sweet.
To the website. There should be links there to some of the videos and clips, but I have a YouTube video up too. So if you want to, just watch the interview, it's up on my YouTube channel.
And that is Jessica Star 77?
No, it's just Jessica Star.
Jessica Star.
Just
2 R's?
Jessica
2
Star.
R's.
Never 2 R's.
Never 2
What
R's.
are you talking about?
You had like a spoof account or something. Didn't you have people spoofing you and doing like Jessica 77 Star and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've had a few imposters. I've had a few imposter sheep squatches over the years, no doubt.
Hilarious. Okay. All right. I tend to linger in the Facebook group. Everybody dabbles over there in our Discord. So come on over, especially if you'd like to see any of the photo presentations of our feedback when people are going through. Sometimes people are posting pictures of their adventures. So if you like to see a slideshow of all the stories you're hearing, put 2 different art medias together, come on over to the Discord, join in the fun. All right. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout feed. We'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Look, I can be an alien.
Swarms of danger kitties.
Then he's gonna get it in the face.
Curiosity pulled them in.
I had to save scum and watch the caravan die again.
They speak of them as if they're helpless babies, rather than respecting the fact that they found a way to survive in this wilderness.
Yeah, it's a drug.